mollywop.
If Love and Gogi is wrong,
Just
I don't want to be right.
What would Socrates say to that?
Embarrassing.
It tickles my fancy.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Goosies.
I don't have hair.
Oof.
You got Marcos.
That's not.
Wait.
Yeah.
That's true. You do got me. Get over here, Marcus. Let me look at you.
They don't want it. Tobin and Leroy, ready to deploy. Had to hit it with a little journalism, but that was a decoy. Better have about me, boy. Okay, Leroy and Tobin, hold to the show, man. Steals in the sauce with the show, and till then his half moon open. Sometimes go taste like a snowman. No proof, I'm a lie about a motor. No proof, like I always wanted him. I never hated him. I never traded him. And if I did, I never ever traded him. You know what is a star? Like another city, the driver's side floor. Gucci got large, so many more. 10 in the more, never a bar. 8, 10 in the more, 2 to the P. Nothing to you, but it's something to me. Hands up as ever, and cute as can be. You can watch us on YouTube and view it for free. Ay. This one time for the Twitch. This one time for the text. This one time for the phone line. Whole time, wonder what they gonna do next.
You know, I just wish you guys would stop the quibbling.
Morning, Leroy.
What's up?
How the heck are you, buddy?
I'm watching the U.S. get mollywopped.
Molly-whopped indeed.
So there's 4 matches going on
Yeah.
right now. It's alternate shot.
Okay. What does
Right?
that mean?
So the alternate shot, you have 2-man teams and you alternate shots.
Yes. Okay.
Here's how it is as of right now. John Rahm, Terrell Hatton versus Bryson DeChambeau and Thomas.
All right.
Rahm and Hatton are up 3 through 13. Ludwig Oberg and Matthew Fitzpatrick versus Scotty Scheffler and Russell Henley.
Mm-hmm.
Oberg and Fitzpatrick are up 5 after 12.
Jesus.
Rory McIlroy and
No way
Tommy
you're coming back down 5, right?
with 6 holes to go.
Yeah, I don't think
No.
so. Yeah.
Rory McIlroy, Tommy Fleetwood versus Colin Morikawa and Alex English. McIlroy and Fleetwood up 4
Jesus.
through 11.
So we're done. We're
And,
toast.
well, they play 36 today, tomorrow, and then singles.
Okay.
so-
Okay. We still got time.
Yeah, usually, and to be fair, all of the team portions of it. So
Yeah.
that means the alternate shot, the U.S. sucks at.
Huh. But we'll kill them
They
in the
always
singles, though.
always have. But when they do best ball, that means both
Ooh.
players play their own ball.
Oh.
The U.S. does well at that. And then the singles, it's a toss-up.
All
This
right.
is the Ryder Cup?
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay,
indeed.
that's what I thought.
That is going
So
on.
what I would say
today to
is-
Sunday.
I turn on my TV.
Yep.
And I see 3 teams on the back 9 down 3. or
How are they
more.
this far like deep into it though? It's 10 a.m. What time do they start?
7:30.
It's on like U.S. property, so it's like it's not like they
7:30.
have to
They
accommodate
start
for-
early because keep in mind they play 36 holes, and you don't have as much daylight as you have in the summer.
Oh man.
Right. So, but the only group that's winning is Schauffele and Patrick Cantlay. They're up 2.
Yeah.
So as currently
that.
is, there'll be 3-1 after the morning session, and usually the U.S. and it works this way every Ryder Cup, and then in the evening the late matches where they play their own ball, usually the U.S. wins 3-1 and they tied or close to tied after the first day. So, but
So
holy
you're saying there's a
smoke.
chance.
Oh no, there's a big chance. This happens every
Okay.
Ryder Cup.
All
So
right, so just a
for
bad start.
for some reason, the Europeans play the team portion of it where you alternate shots. They always play those better. And then when you play best ball, where everybody plays their own ball and the lowest score on the team wins, the
Yeah.
U.S. plays those better.
Because we're better.
Mm,
Well,
I don't know. I mean, you got it's a pretty stacked team when you think John Rahm, Terrell Hatton, Lewis on Ludwig Oberg, Matthew Fitzpatrick, Roy McIlroy, and Tommy Fleetwood on one team.
Yeah, but they don't have heart.
No, but they got scores. And
Yeah,
that's all that. Art don't win. Scores win.
But we got a guy with a criminal record, so we're tough.
Who?
Didn't Scotty get arrested?
Got thrown out. Hey, you know what's amazing about that?
Yeah.
He is literally the nicest, most laid-back
Oh.
person on tour.
No, you don't know nothing about S Block Scotty.
So what's up with you, man? What's going on?
You know, I got a call from old Show Pony that he was taking the day off. So I figured I'd step in and say hello to my peeps. You know,
Guess what?
It's football-less weekend for us.
I ventured into chili peppers last night.
Oh, you watched Thursday Night Football last night.
So let me explain to you.
Let me hear your bet. Let me hear your
Why?
plays.
I had Kyler Murray over 28.5.
Okay.
I had
That seems like a solid pick.
who's the running back for Seattle?
Kenneth Walker?
Kenneth Walker over like 57 yards.
Okay. Seems solid as well.
Had hold on, let me pull it up. Had had the Seahawks to win.
Okay.
And then had Trey Benson over 19.5 receiving yards. He had 20, and then they adjusted it to 19.
Oh, get out of here, dude.
Yep.
Like
Yep.
I
I got all excited.
That's disgusting. You need to speak to Vegas. I'm not even sure who you speak to.
And when I originally did it, it was 19. By the
Yeah.
time I got my bet, it was 19.5.
It's that hook. It's always the hook.
The hook.
It is always the hook.
The hook. And you never think, should I just buy it down to 19? Because you don't think, like, what's a yard, right? It was like a yard. And he had 20.
Yeah.
And then I looked over here to grab my juice, and I looked back, and it said 19.
That's messed up, bro. That's honestly messed up.
Well, it's very easy because if he catches a pass and they give it to him, but it's 3rd and 6 instead of 3rd and 5, then they got to go back and adjust.
Well, you deserve at least like $2 or something like that.
And I had to buy out.
It always sucks when you deny the buyout option and then you end up losing. And it's like,
and then at the end of the game, the backup running back scored the touchdown on a 10-yard pass. He wasn't even in the game.
Isn't that the Leroy Horn? Isn't that the come in last couple of yards?
No,
bang
it was a pass.
Oh, okay.
From like the 10-yard line. He wasn't even in the game. At the end of the game, wasn't even in the game.
I caught bits and pieces of the game. I know the biggest, and before I go too far, hello, good morning, Brittney. How are you?
Good morning. I'm great.
Did you watch any football yesterday?
Unfortunately, I did not because I was working.
Loser.
The only thing that sucks is what I like about football is I like to, during the commercials and halftime, switch to my other shows and stay busy. When it's on Prime or Netflix, you can't do that. You got to get out of the app
program,
so I'm stuck watching all the commercials. When regular TV, I'm not.
I'll give you credit. I usually it's like, oh, Leroy, the old man. I'm getting to that too. I'm like, I'm sick of these damn streaming apps, if I'm being honest. I came up with a great idea the other day and I realized it was cable television. And I'm just like, why did we ever get away from this? I don't understand, but I was able to catch something. If you watched just split seconds of yesterday's game, the biggest headline you would have thought was Marvin Harrison is on suicide watch because apparently he has the lowest self-esteem and blah, 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 blah. Things happen. And people are just kind of blowing this out of proportion. I know he's had some drops as of recent, but man, everything I kept hearing is Marvin Harrison Jr. and his confidence. And I'm like, guys, he'll be fine.
Here's the problem with him. Okay, and it doesn't mean you can't be successful, but there's a couple of receivers that have this. They can't get uncovered. Like if you notice, every pass he catches, he's draped by a DB and he makes a great catch.
Yep.
That portion of being a receiver takes a while to earn it from your quarterback. The old throw it up.
Yeah, for sure.
I'll get it.
He's down there somewhere.
Another person like that is as fast as he is. DK Metcalf is the same way. Always covered. Right?
Yeah, trust me. He's on my fantasy.
When the quarterback looks up, that's a hard thing to decide, hey, I'm going to throw it anyway. So you almost have to force yourself to throw it to a covered receiver. And that's the problem with Marvin Harris. There's been great receivers that have always been that, where when it's time to get paid, they say, well, he never creates separation. He never does this, right? Anquan Bolden is probably the best example of that, right?
That guy didn't need separation, though.
But that's my point.
Big.
No, he wasn't that big. He was thick, like Debo Samuel. That's how he was built. So that's a crazy thing in that. And then when you quit on a route.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, not a good look. That was not a good look for sure.
Right.
I know he did end up pulling in a touchdown pass, which it's the second week in a row I've seen a headline of Marvin Harrison Jr. emotional. And I'm just like,
it's not that he's emotional.
He's just
that is
he caught a touchdown.
Just imagine being so dominant in high school and you having to adjust to the other athletes on the field being as good or even better than you. You have to find another way to succeed. So what is that going to be? Use your size. He's a big dude. Use your size. You see catches he made on the sidelines where he put the shoulder in, created a little separation. That's how you have to start playing. And it's sometimes hard for players at any level when you step up to the elite level, when you realize that, damn, they as good or even better than me, right?
Yeah,
how are you going to succeed?
When I moved from Pee Wee football in Miramar to Pee Wee football in Miami Gardens, I was like, it's a bit different. It's a bit different over here, for being honest.
But that's sports. That's sports.
It is, for sure.
And sometimes guys are very they're disappointed in that.
What's the John Madden quote on the game being all mental? I used to hear it like as I'm playing Madden and think there's something wrong with the math there, but I think he's like 50% of the game is 90% of the game is half mental.
Right.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure what the numbers are on that, but yeah, everyone in the league is the best of the best. So what separates them is their mental fortitude. A lot of the time, how dedicated they are to recovery, to working when no one's looking, and how they persevere to certain things.
The thing that I learned, one of the first things that I learned playing offense in a passing game, is how important every route is to controlling the defense, right? Case in point, when Tua threw that pick, the backside tight end was supposed to run a slant, and he ran an out. So when he ran an out, that safety immediately looked to the strong side. If he had run a slant, that safety would have went across the other way to guard him. You see
Takes
what
a
I mean?
real football person to know that, because to me, the casual, I'm like,
but so there's a lot of stuff going on that at the end of the day, you just look at the end result. And sometimes there's other things that cause that, for example, the little swing pass or the flat route.
Yeah.
People don't understand how important that is to control the corner. So if you have a guy releasing, you control that corner, it creates space in between the cover 2 safety and the corner, and they throw that ball in that hole. If the running back can't get out because he has to block, or the tight end runs a wrong route, that corner will now follow the wide receiver all the way. He won't come off until he sees somebody in that short area. And so you have a whole bunch of kind of route combinations that depend on other parts of the route, maybe not even on that side, to control a defense. And if somebody does the wrong thing or stops, it creates confusion for everybody involved.
Dude, that's the expert analysis you get here on the Tobin and Leroy show.
No, that's just how offensive football works, right? And so one of the things that I remember in the offense I played with Brian Billick, one of the ways to get away from that, from a defense just watching you line up in a formation and kind of guarding the players, is we would call the same plays out of a number of different formations, and wherever you were on the field determined what route you ran, not who you were. You see, so if Randy and Chris Carter switched, we would run the same play.
Yeah.
And now Chris was running the go route, Randy was running the hitch. They would all go over to Randy's side thinking that Randy was going to run the go route, and they would rotate the coverage over there. Chris be one-on-one with a corner. So there's a lot that goes into it. When I watch a game, I'm looking for the movement of the defensive backs to see if the offensive play is affecting what they're doing. So whether it's cover two, you hear all this stuff about cover two or, 4 deep or whatever, it doesn't matter, because you're trying to exploit a certain player or a certain position on the field, area of the field. And regardless of who's playing those positions on defense, they have to react. So you can affect anybody in any defense if everybody's on the same page. If one guy away from the play is not necessarily doing what he's supposed to do, then that guy can cheat another coverage or cheat another offensive player. So that's kind of how it works. So when you watch a game and you see, a guy being doubled or why did he throw that? That safety's over the top. Always look to see what's going on the other side and see if there was a route that affected that guy, so you can exploit Tyreek and get him in the open.
Schmeathen says, I dare Marcos to repeat anything Leroy has said. He's just been nodding for 9 minutes straight. when you give good football, you got to listen. You just listen. All right.
But next time you guys watch a game, any game.
Yeah. No,
right?
You know what? This is the second time this concept has been brought up, because I saw recently Baker Mayfield did some sort of late game adjustments in which he moved the running back to the left side, and him just going out froze the defensive end enough to give him the time that he needed.
What happens with that is when most of the time when you move a running back from the right to the left is because you change the protection to slide a different way. Or if you see a blitz coming from the left and you thought it was going to come over the slot and you had the slot to the right, you just move the running back over, point to 2 different guys who are the Mike and the Will, or the Mike and the Sam, right? And that means when you see them pointing to 2 guys, that means those 2 guys are blocked, right? The offensive line and the running back are sliding the protection to those 2 guys. So those 2 guys are blocked. It also means that now on the other side, if that guy comes off the slot, the running back's not over there, that wide receiver has to now know I have a side adjust. So that's why you see all that movement in the backfield sometimes, so you can manipulate your protection, but everybody has to be on the same page, because guess what? If that guy comes off the slot and the wide receiver or the slot guy doesn't run a sight adjust, now the quarterback gets hit in the face.
These headlines are brought to you by your Doral Volkswagen. Doral Volkswagen just broke the rules of gravity. Prices are falling so fast, we're checking for a crater. Volkswagen priced like they lost their minds. Doral Volkswagen, buckle up. No one sells for less. No one. We have an action-packed show, although there's little to no action this weekend. And by the way, Dade South says the Mike is a middle linebacker, Marcos. Let me tell you what pisses me off. I just got mad in the other day. Apparently, we don't use left outside linebacker, right outside linebacker, middle line. No, it's Mike,
Will,
Sam, Will.
Yeah.
What is that? What does that even mean?
Middle linebacker, weak linebacker, strong linebacker.
No, I need left or right. I need left or right.
No,
I need.
You know why? You know why? Let me tell you why, Marcos.
Yeah.
Because left and right is dependent on where the tight end is lined up. It's not dependent on how you look at it on your.
Nope.
Yes.
When I play Madden,
hey,
and
the Sam linebacker,
yeah,
will usually always follow the tight end. Strong linebacker. The tight end signifies the strength of the offense.
Nope.
So the Sam will always follow the tight end. The weak linebacker will always go to the open side.
See, now imagine that though. Now imagine I have to be referred to as a weak linebacker. I couldn't just be the right one. You know,
but they don't call you weak linebacker. That's what it is. They call you the Will.
Like, we need different names then. I need more exciting names then. All right. I want.
It's not.
Let's switch it to
or hey, how about this?
Yeah.
Sometimes in protection, because the quarterback sees something, he'll call the Sam linebacker as the Mike. You know what that means?
Sam,
the strong linebacker. He'll say Mike is actually the Sam. That means that you have the Sam and the slot guy blocked. And if somebody comes up the middle, now he's free. So the two guys that he points out to be the Mike and the Sam can change depending on what he sees and who he thinks is coming.
I don't like that.
And the reason why you do that, you want to know why you do that?
Why?
When they're in nickel or dime, because you might only have one linebacker. So you got to identify the two guys, even though it's not a linebacker, you got to identify them as Mike and Sam.
That's not their name, though. We need to switch the names up. We need to call them by name. From now on, you need to know it.
So
Quan.
Watch. When you watch, and you have to be careful with this. Want to know why? Because if you go up to the line of scrimmage and point at Mike and Sam, what is the defense going to assume? It's a pass.
Oh.
So sometimes he comes up and he points and it's a run. So these are all the things you have to be very cognizant of as to exposing what you're doing.
This explains my poor record in Madden. But I'm doing my best, and I will do my best.
But you know what? It's just like, that's basically what I just explained to you is offensive football 101. The first things you learn when you start doing pass protection or any offensive plays is identifying the Mike and the Sam.
I disagree. The first thing you learn is a 3-point stance.
No, a lot of the offensive linemen don't even get in a 3-point stance anymore.
I know, but in Pee Wee football, I was watching my nephew play Pee Wee football the other day. He's in 10U. Man, those stances are questionable. I'll tell you what. There's some.
You know why? Because the hardest thing in the world when I play fullback in the wishbone. Oh. You know what the hardest thing to do is when you get in a 3-point stance?
What?
See. You got the helmet pulled down like this.
Oh, that's right.
Right.
Yeah.
And so you're like,
you're kind of like trying to peek
Yes. So now you see guys in the 2-point stance going like this.
Yeah. Now imagine this kid weighs 76 pounds and his helmet is about 33% of that.
Right.
It's amazing. So it's amazing to watch.
So a lot of them, it has to do with seeing, and it makes them look awkward because they're trying to look up and see. So I'm just telling you, this is all stuff that I used to remember playing in front of the wishbone. I'm like, yo, can I get in a 2-point stance? Well, I can't see.
Can I get the Ashton Genty just standing there like Michael Myers instead? Like just ready to go.
You know why they do that?
Why?
Timing.
Oh.
If you get in too good of a stance, right? So if you get down in the stance and take off, sometimes you're too fast.
I was going to say.
So what you do to slow you up and kind of get with the flow of the run play or the pass play to give you more time is you stand kind of straight up so that first couple of steps is not as fast. That's it.
Well, I hope you guys.
You know what I used to do to combat that?
What?
I used to line up 8.5 yards deep.
Damn. What's the normal rate?
Anywhere from 7 to 5.
Oh, okay. So you took that extra and a half.
Yeah, so I could be full. I mean, when I had a full head of steam.
Nice. I hope you guys enjoyed that excellent football talk because we got a lot of silliness on the show, baby. We got Radio Taboo coming later. We also have What the Kids Say. This is probably going to be the craziest episode of What the Kids Say because the kids are saying crazy things nowadays. So
I don't even talk to kids no more.
You might as well not. Based off of what you're going to hear today, I guarantee you probably won't ever use these things.
If one more kid tells me mid, it's go time.
Oh, mid. That is the least of our issues now, based off of what I'm hearing. In addition to that, we got Alex Donno, who's going to join us later on in the show to talk Miami Hurricanes. We have our favorite Friday games. If you're dead to me, we're going to try to tickle Leroy's fancy. Man, we got it all happening here on the show. So make sure you stay tuned. We got more Tobin and Leroy coming up.
And even though we didn't have our best start to the
Leroy,
What's up?
what are you watching?
Ryder Cup, baby. It's not looking good.
Yeah. It's not looking good.
They look like the Dolphins week 1.
That's okay. That's okay because we bounced back and look at us now, baby. 0-3, right where we wanted to be. The Miami Dolphins set to play the winless New York Jets on Monday Night Football.
You think they have the same thoughts that we're having in New York?
See,
like, hey, we got to get this dub. We playing the Dolphins.
Yeah, no, I definitely think that they're looking at the Dolphins like, hey, slump buster. But it's a weird thing in New York because although you can say both teams haven't necessarily been successful over the past couple of years, it seems like chaos has surrounded the Jets for so many years now that they may be a little bit more used to it at this point. But they're delirious, delusional New York fans. So.
I will tell you,
and so am I.
From a person that's played on a team with chaos, and there's no more chaos than deciding in the middle of the season or announcing in the middle of the season that the team's moving.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody likes it. Nobody likes it because here's what happens. The people upstairs don't talk to the media. Only the players do. And while you don't want the chaos, while you don't want the distractions, they don't ask the owner or the GM. Those guys don't talk. It's the coach. It's the players. And now you're trying to answer questions that you probably shouldn't even be asked because you're not responsible for those issues. You see what I mean? And so, yeah, nobody likes the chaos. What I would say is when you look at all the successful teams, the one thing that you never hear from is either the owner or the GM, right? You don't care. It's the coach, it's the players. And most of the time when it's that situation, you're only dealing with what happened on the field. That's not chaos. Like the Philadelphia Eagles last year and the beginning of this year with Jalen Hurts, how they're going after him with pass. You're winning. That's nothing, right? But when you have to go into a presser and you're asking questions about backup offensive linemen and play calling and all these things, and you're a player, that's chaos. Because now you're trying to figure out how to answer questions that you really can't answer.
So I guess from a chaos standpoint, because you're right, bad football isn't chaos, but your quarterback potentially doing ayahuasca instead of showing up for practice is chaos.
Right.
So in that sense,
right.
Maybe they're not as chaotic. But
when you think
bad.
about the Jets, you think about all the other stuff. They have talent on their team, right? They have a stud and wide receiver. They have a formidable defense, right? Yeah, really but sure. when you go to play the Jets, that's not what you're talking about. You're talking about the chaos with, drafting a quarterback second overall. What the GM, the owner, the chaos surrounding them, that trickles down to the players. And so we start talking about that. Same thing we're here. We're not talking about the players as much as we're talking about why the offensive line has struggled or hasn't had any commitment, or why all these players that have left the team are playing well in other places, or why this? Why can't we get Tyreek the ball? Why can't we do this? Like, these are all things outside of the realm of a player. And the player's trying to be politically correct by not throwing management under the bus. But if you had a regular job, how many times you've gone into a place and say, why is this? And they go corporate.
Yeah, I'm the manager somewhere.
What if Tua came out? What if Tua came out and said, why is your offensive line this? Why is your, and he just said corporate.
Corporate, man. Budget.
Right. You know, so that's what causes chaos in a locker room. And so that's why a lot of times it sounds like I'm defending Tua. I'm not defending Tua's play. But the situation that some of the players have been thrust in, right? Like, for example, why should another player have to answer about the situations with Tyreek Hill? What do they know?
Yeah.
They don't know what that man's going through, right? And so, like, these are when they talk about outside distractions, they talk about stuff like this because, right, we're putting the burden of answering questions about situations on people that either can't say nothing or really truly don't know. That's what chaos is in an organization.
Well, it seems like every time this man steps up to the microphone, another quotable, chaotic moment happens. Of course, I'm talking about our very own sassy quarterback, Tua Tagovailoa.
Yeah.
I have very, very interesting things to say about our sassy boy, including ranking his top sassiest moments as a Miami Dolphin. We're going to hear from Darren Waller as he attempts to make his return.
Oh, he's talking now? Hey,
yeah,
you know what?
we can hear him. Yeah.
Can I just say this?
Yeah.
Less talky talk, more play.
Yeah, that would be good.
Right? Like you
good.
should not. Wait, so we interviewing a guy, let me get this straight. After week 3 because he practiced.
Yeah, baby.
Like, think about where we are.
Yeah.
Right? What? Just out of curiosity.
Yes.
Why would anybody want to hear anything from Darren Waller? This is not a knock on him. He hasn't played. What are you expecting? What could you possibly ask him?
Look, stick around to the Tobin and Leroy show and you'll find out. But before we get into football talk in the hour formerly known as Hour Tua, we got to get into one of our favorite segments whenever I come around, and that's Day Today. We're going to wish happy birthdays to our favorite celebrities and find out what day we'll be celebrating when we come back on the Tobin and Leroy show. Welcome back to the Tobin and Leroy show. We are live here on a wonderful Frog Boy Friday. Which means Show Pony is out. He will return next week. But since I'm in, we're here with the silly sauce, baby. Time now for one of our favorites, and by our I mean only me. Things to do on a Frog Boy Friday is determine who we are wishing a happy birthday to celebrity-wise and what national day we're supposed to be celebrating. The segment is called Day to Day. Now, I did some research today in regards to birthdays, celebrity birthdays, but I found that there was such a lack of cool birthdays today that I went to yesterday, and I was just floored with the amount of recognizable people that were yesterday. So I'm gonna give a happy belated birthday to some people. But before I do, let's see if you guys recognize any of these people. Let's start with Serena Williams, 44 years old. That's pretty good. 44. Did you know how old Serena was, Brittney?
No, I probably would have gone with a little younger. I'm not gonna lie.
Because she played tennis so recent, right?
Exactly,
Yeah.
but I guess like it is a sport that like there's a longevity to it, right?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, they at least what I've seen, the greats usually last until late 30s, early 40s at most.
For women, no. For some reason, women in all sports start earlier, finish earlier. Same thing happens in golf. Like women that get to like 30,
yeah,
right? That mid 30s is considered very old, whereas in the men's golf game, that's like almost their prime. But keep in mind, a lot of these women turn pro and play on the tour right after high school.
Wow.
So so
Well,
they're playing the same amount of years.
They're just developing faster.
Sooner. Huh?
The same thing is like they have children. They say that girls are developing faster, mature faster than boys and stuff. Maybe they just do everything faster.
Well, it's starting to change a little bit because they have college U. So that means that if you're ranked as an amateur at the end of the year, the number one ranked player in amateur ranks through college U, you automatically get a tour card. And then up until I think the top 20 or 25 get some type of status, either on the Corn Ferry Tour or something along those lines.
Corn Ferry Tour.
Yeah, that's what it's called. That's that's the minor league. That's the minor league PGA.
Well, a couple other birthdays today. Only like 3 more you guys may recognize from this list here. Damian Priest. Does that ring any bells for you guys?
Damian Priest, no.
Damian Priest. He's the WWE wrestler.
I definitely then don't know based on how this week has gone. I definitely don't know who that is.
That's fair. That's fair. Let's see. Nev Schulman. You may not know him from his name, but if you guys are familiar with the show Catfish.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
All right. The host of Catfish got something out of you. That's good. And Russ. Do you guys know the rapper Russ?
No.
Yeah. See, that's what I saw. And you actually may know this name, Leroy. I know the name. I don't know why I know the name. Olivia Newton-John.
Yeah.
What?
Don't of course.
Are you joking? What?
She's no longer with us.
Yes.
Yeah, but Greece.
Sandy from Greece. Are you actually being serious?
Hey, listen. I apologize. That's me right there. Sandy from Greece. She's got some respect in the game for sure. So I'll give you that one. That one was me. One hit wonder. But hey, that was me. That was me on that one.
One hit wonder.
I mean, they would have.
You know who? If I'm not mistaken,
Prince
wrote a song for her.
Yes, he did.
Yes.
Well, she's the one that I want.
But Prince wrote songs for. If you go look at his, some of the songs that he wrote for other people, you'd be amazed. He wrote songs for everybody.
Nah, Prince was definitely a goated songwriter, but come on, what are we doing here?
I mean, that was also skinny John Travolta.
Just Diana. Oh yeah, that was. I mean, I don't know. He didn't necessarily look like he was in high school, according to what that movie was supposed to make me believe.
Who does? A lot of these high school shows have 20-something-year-olds.
That connection with the singer Prince through her daughter. Oh, Prince was the name of musician. Okay, anyway. I got into the deep history of her life, but screw the 26th because that was stupid. Now I'm about to go through all the names of September 25th. These are the happy belated birthdays that you guys didn't celebrate yesterday because you're bad people. Will Smith.
Getting jiggy with it.
He'll slap you.
Mima.
Mima celebrated a birthday.
Yeah.
You know what? That's beautiful. Donald Glover.
Okay.
AKA Childish Gambino turned 42 yesterday.
Yep.
Catherine Zeta-Jones.
She's got to be in her 60s, right?
56.
Wow, I'm older than her.
You don't look it though. Handsome.
She does.
Oof. T.I. turned 45.
Yeah, he just had a baby.
Coming live for the. Did he? Jesus.
Yeah, with yeah. He had a kid with what's her name? Or he just got married. Sorry.
He just got married. Did Tiny and T.I. have a baby? Yeah,
I don't think so.
No, he just got married.
The woman he's been with for 30 years?
Yeah, forever?
T.I. got married? I think you're
Wait, who am I?
Hey, listen.
No, you know what? Nelly. Nelly got married.
To Ashanti?
There you go.
Ashanti.
That probably makes more sense there.
There it is. My bad. Now that I thought about it.
Yeah. Well, that's also wrong because Nelly got married in 2023. But hey, you know what?
Did he just have a kid?
They had their first kid in expecting their first child together in 2023. Maybe they had another kid, but I'm just not gonna believe anything you say.
All right, so I'm off.
You're thinking of another black guy, and that's very messed up of you, Leroy. Chauncey Billups turned 49. Big shot Billups.
Big shot Billups.
Teddy Swims. Teddy Swims turned 33.
That's it?
That's it.
Wait. Hold on.
Yeah. Teddy Swims, 33.
How many people would have been off by 10 years?
Me? No,
Yeah.
I mean not 10 years, but I
would say he's closer to 40, right?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, for sure. Beautiful voice, though.
Yes.
Rosalia turns 33 as well.
Oh my gosh, that's another shocking age.
Shocking.
I would have expected her to be younger, like still in her 20s, like late 20s.
Bella Ramsey. You guys may not know her name, but if you've watched Game of Thrones, she was the small little queen of the I don't know, I think something in the north. She had her own territory in the north. If you saw her face, you know who the hell she is. And if I'm not mistaken, she actually played in The Last of Us, that the female character. I don't know, I don't watch the show. Mark Hamill, Luke Skywalker, turned 74 yesterday.
He died, didn't he?
R.I.P. He would have been 74 yesterday.
Okay.
Christopher Reeve.
Oh no, Mark Hamill didn't die.
He didn't die. Stop
Queen,
killing.
His sister died in the movie.
Oh yes, Leia.
Oh yes,
Leia. Princess Leia.
Scottie Pippen turned 60.
Really?
Cade Cunningham turned 24.
Wow, he's young.
A lot of birthdays yesterday, and we're actually up against it. I'm sorry, I've been babbling away, so I'll just give you the quick days we're supposed to be celebrating today. It's national. Okay, go ahead and write that down. National Johnny Appleseed Day is today. If you know the legend of Johnny Appleseed, he spread apples across America. Who knows? National Pancake Day is today, September 26th, so make sure you celebrate that. And National Dumpling Day. Before we go, pan fried or steamed your dumplings. What do we like here? What do we like?
I like both. I always order half and half. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm not a dumplings guy. It just seems like a mini empanada.
Yeah.
But steamed is too runny.
Too runny, I feel like a noodle.
You know what I mean? Too
I like them
like
both. I'm with Brittney on this one. I'll take them both.
No.
And it's also National Shamu the Whale Day. So go to SeaWorld, maybe? I'm not sure.
No, let's not. Don't go to SeaWorld.
Oh, we're not going to SeaWorld. But so do we not celebrate this day then?
We celebrate Shamu, RIP, but not SeaWorld.
All right. Well, you heard the lady. He was born in captivity on September 26th, so we will celebrate him, but not the captivity part. Eat a dumpling instead. When we come back, we got just a normal hour on the Tobin and Leroy show.
Ask your friend to stop digging into the green.
Leroy,
Yes.
what are you watching?
Ryder Cup, baby.
We're still down, I'm assuming, correct?
Oh. And the one match that you were winning
we're
is
losing
in
that match.
peril.
Oh, okay.
Because I think they were on the 18th hole. No, they're on the 15th hole. They're only up one. And Schauffele just hit it 50 yards off the golf course.
We got it right where we want them, baby. We got them right where we want them.
I don't know what it is about this portion of the Ryder Cup, but the U.S. has always struggled in the alternate shot.
We don't play well with others.
That's pretty much it, which is the whole point of the Ryder Cup, is the team atmosphere and stuff like that. So
Yeah,
the fact that, when you see the camaraderie or whatever, how it looks with the European players. The other thing is that, keep in mind, the European players are probably more familiar with each other personally, because in Europe they travel together. It's not as much money as it is on the U.S. tour. So, a lot of these guys in the U.S. have their private jets and stuff like that. Whereas in Europe, they're buddying up, right? And so that camaraderie is a lot greater over there. So then when you play in one of these events together, it just seems this portion of it seems to work a little more fluidly. Now, when you talk about just golfing your ball, so the next 18 holes, when they talk about, best ball, which means everybody plays the hole, and whoever has the best score, the lowest score of the two teammates, they win. U.S. usually does really good at that because you don't need camaraderie. You can just be an individual.
Well, we will keep it locked to see if they can pull anything off today, but we still got 2 more days of Ryder Cup action.
Yep.
Let's go ahead and get into some headlines. These headlines are brought to you by Doral Volkswagen. Doral Volkswagen just broke the rules of gravity. Prices are falling so fast. We're checking for a crater. Volkswagen's priced like they lost their minds. Doral Volkswagen, buckle up. No one sells for less. No one. A couple headlines. We briefly talked about it in the first hour. If you watched any sort of football last night, Thursday night football, Jason Myers wins it for Seattle with a 52-yard field goal, 23-20.
Should have been over before that because he missed a 54-yarder with 5 minutes left.
Absolutely. And honestly, it was, the score reveals it as a 3-point game, but it took Arizona scoring both of their touchdowns in the fourth quarter to make it a close game.
Yeah.
And then on a ensuing kickoff before that final play, it was a violation, which I still hate this whole kickoff thing. If it's not in the zone and blah, blah, blah.
You have to understand what they're trying to accomplish.
Less injuries, I'm assuming.
Well, it's not that. They're trying to get more returns while not having guys have a 30-yard running start. And in order to do that, you have to have some rules about where the ball can be kicked, right?
Yeah.
And what happens is they try to, if you notice, they try to do the directional kick.
Yeah.
And the like line drive to one side or the other, which is crazy because it almost seems like you would want more hang time. But here's the issue. You cannot move until the defender touches the ball or it hits the ground. I'm not sure whether it hits the ground. So a lot of these kicks are that way so that they can get their guys going. But
it's the worst thing I think they've done. I hate it.
I like the action, but here's the problem. They talk about returns. They getting stopped inside the 20 a lot.
That's what I'm saying. Like I've seen as a Dolphin, we're already scarce when it comes to special teams returns. And apparently, whenever we do one, we give up one right after. But
Oh my goodness.
the I can name people from the past. I can name the Dante Halls, the Josh Cribbs, the Devin Hesters, the return specialists that's added an element to the game. The kickoff is dead. And then, God forbid, one of the greatest plays in Super Bowl history was Sean Payton starting off with an onside kick. You can't sneak an onside kick anymore.
Hey, you gotta send out a flare and an announcement.
Hey, I'm doing onside, everyone. Like it's really, I understand from the standpoint of reducing injury, but cool. If that's what you want to do, then just eliminate the kickoff altogether. You're reducing injury, but you still want them to have a certain amount of kicks. So
no, I don't. I like this versus what they've done in the past. So
from a visual standpoint, or from a former player standpoint, like a fan, because I know it's hard to watch.
Just from a fan who wants to see every play matter. So there have been returns for touchdowns. So that means it can be had. There have been punt returns. So I just think that I want it to be an important play in football. And so they've kind of made it to where you have to have some kind of confrontation in kickoff, right? And if you avoid that, you penalized. So you can't just kick it out of the end zone. You can't just roll it back there. So that's why I'm okay with the rules. But I can understand, and if you notice, these kickers have the ability to kick in a number of different ways. So when you see that little squib deep kick or that's planned. That's not a bad kick. They're planning to do it that way. So I like the kind of the game plan. Right? Now you got to have a definitive game plan of how you're going to kick the ball off, how you're going to return the ball, what you're going to do. Now, I will say this. Not a whole bunch of people block. Right?
No,
that receiver catches the ball, and it seems like those defenders are right there. So there's that. And the teams that do it well, they get the ball on the 35, 40-yard line. It seems like teams that have good return teams, all the time they're on the 40 or the 35. So it's benefiting some people, and that's how football should be. If you excel at something, you should get an advantage during the course of a game.
Brittney, new kickoff system or old kickoff system?
I like the old kickoff system. I'm not gonna lie. I think,
but they were just kicking it out of bounds, and there was no returns.
I get it. I understand what Leroy
we can fix that though.
An importance to the actual play, but I think also it's like you're kicking it out. The penalty is you get it at the 40, right? Instead of
if you don't
35.
kick it in the zone, you got 20 yards to land the ball. It's not like it's hard to do. So
I think that's why I think it's kind of dumb though, because I just feel like the penalty is not even like that significant of one for it.
You get it on the 40.
I mean, it's 5 yards only. If you don't get it in the zone, it's only 5 yards extra that you're getting if you do get it in the zone.
Let me. Okay, so think about this. There's kickers. For example, the kicker for Jacksonville made a 70-yarder.
Yeah, that was crazy.
So that means that if you move the ball 15 yards, it's a 62-yard kick, which nowadays is nothing. That's a penalty. 1 first down and you can kick a field goal? Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that is true.
Because that's kind of what happened, that they got the ball on the 40, and so now they only got to go 60 yards instead of pinning them back there and having them go 80 yards.
Man, my thing is how you could have solved it. Now, mind you, I am not solving the injuries at all. Nothing I can do about that. Well, there's something I can do about it. Nothing I want to do about that. But you move the kicker back. Kickers are getting better. Have the kicker kick it from like the 10 on a tee. And then it'll land like, at the 5 or something like that.
Well, I think that's the point though. It's like,
well, but here's the problem behind it.
Doesn't being able to kick it out of the end zone prevent injuries even more, because then there's no return?
No, but
I don't want
that. They're trying to make every play important in football.
All right. If you
right?
kick it in the end zone,
If
they
you
start.
go what you did based on what happened last year, where the ball was coming out to the 30, they were
Mhm.
just saying, hey, kick it out in the end zone, right?
Yeah.
They're trying to make that play an important play. And so that's why these rules are in place. I believe it. If you have a great return guy, why shouldn't you benefit from that? And so that's why they do it. I would say if you move the ball farther back, it doesn't really matter when the other rules are in place. You see what I mean? So
That's the thing.
if they can't move until the receiver catches it, right?
Mhm.
Then it doesn't matter whether you kick it from the 30 to 20 or the 10 because nobody's moving until that ball is caught. Now, if you kick it out of the end zone, you get it at the 35. So nobody is really kicking the ball out of the end zone. Therefore, kicking it in that 20-yard, moving it back is not going to change that. So you're in the
So
same situation.
that was a question that I had during the Patriots game. Is it if you kick it out of the end zone, you get it at the 35, but if you
Correct.
don't get it in the landing zone, it's at the 40.
Yes, because that's more egregious. Like
That's
to
so
not
but
kick
isn't that
it
so silly?
to
Might as well
not
just
to
kick it out of
not
the end zone.
but keep in mind to not kick it in the 20-yard area you designed. Now that's 20 yards by 50 yards. Okay? The only way you could do it is if you try to hit that squib kick and miss. So you're trying to be tactical. You're trying to, kick it in a way that gives you somewhat of an advantage or makes it more difficult to catch the ball. You still got to hit it in the zone. It's not anybody's fault other than that damn kicker who landed it on the 19-yard line.
Well, speaking of kickoffs, when we come back, we are going to kick off our conversation on Sassy Tua, as Cam Newton has some more words and doesn't seem like Tua is taking very kindly to them. We got that and much more on the Tobin and Leroy Show. Welcome back to the Tobin and Leroy show. Second hour of the program, formerly known as Our Tua. But rightfully so, he has been stripped of the hour and now has become a topic of conversation each time he steps to the podium. This is something that happened after the show was over yesterday. Did you catch anything from Tua's press conference, Leroy?
No, I really, to be honest with you, I'm one of those people that, because I've been through it, I understand that it's hard to be in that situation because there's certain things that people want you to say or want to hear. And you have to be kind of politically correct because others may be involved or, teammates or stuff like that. So you kind of take the brunt of the questions and just deal with it. And then after whatever you say, right, knowing you couldn't say what needed to be said, then people criticize you for not saying what needed to be said. And
Well-
that's the whole problem with, sometimes I get frustrated with, me and Tobin go at it all the time. Like, what did you expect him to say? Right? He's still got to go to work with these guys. He's still got to go, like, yeah, do we need Tua to say my offensive line sucks? Do we need Tua to say that? Right? So he tries to, kind of beat around it because he don't want to throw his teammates and his brothers under the bus, and then we hold it against him. And so it's a tough spot. So I just avoid it because we can watch film and see what's going on. We don't need somebody to then get up and say it, because him getting up and saying exactly what we already know is going to cause the rift. And then that team's really going to go sideways. And so he doesn't say it, and we would critique him on that. So you can't win.
Well, I understand he can't win, but it definitely feels like Tua's been losing each time he has gone up to the microphone. Now, just to refresh our history of public displays of sass by our starting quarterback, we all remember when Ryan Clark criticized him about his body weight. This is how it ended.
You think I wanted to build all this muscle? Like, nah. To some extent, like I wanted to, I wanted to be a little lighter. There's a mixture of things that people don't understand, that people don't know about, that are talked about, that go behind the scenes. So, I'd appreciate if you kept my name out your mouth. That's what I'd say.
The infamous, I'd appreciate it if you keep your name out of my.
So, and let's keep in mind, I'm merely going to talk about the situation. I'm not defending Tua. I'm not defending Ryan Clark, right? We all know this. Why did Tua put on more weight?
To stay healthy.
To try to, stay healthier, right?
And he did actually that year, if I'm not mistaken.
We all know this, right?
Yeah.
So imagine him having to answer questions about what Ryan Clark's saying when he knows why and Ryan Clark doesn't. So now he's forced to defend himself to a guy that doesn't know what's going on and why he did it. And whoever it is. So that's why sometimes these things come across as being irritating.
All right.
Because we know. So instead of us saying, well, Ryan Clark is off on this one because he doesn't know why Tua is doing it, we say, oh, look at Sassy Tua. You see what I mean? So we need to be smarter because we know more than these guys. We know more than Ryan Clark as far as this situation was concerned. But instead of giving the facts of the matter, right, it's more interesting to go at Tua, even though we know why he did it, and talk about what Ryan Clark said.
All right. Well, this is another example of sass. What about
I
this
have
one?
pretty good vision. I have pretty good hands. I mean, I'd like to see a lot of other people go in the back there and try to catch that ball too. And Brew knows he can get it better, but it wasn't my best as well. But I'm just saying, to give perspective, you know, it's not as easy as what it looked like, sitting down on your couch eating chips.
Hey,
All right.
that's a little dig. That's a dig.
Now, that's
a dig. Like
the Ryan Clark one, he could have just been like, you don't know what's going on behind the scenes, but then it ended with keep my name out of your mouth. This one could have been like,
wait,
it's harder than what it looks.
Don't act like we all wouldn't have a problem. Somebody making comments about what's going on in our life and they don't know what's going on. Don't act like you wouldn't be irritated. Okay? Like, see, we're human first. He's a quarterback second. That's annoying to me.
But
and
this wasn't
not
like him gaining weight because he was depressed. This
right,
is him.
but I'm just saying we all know the reason why. Ryan Clark didn't fully understand why he did it. So could Tua have been okay by saying, look, when you don't know what's going on, it's best if you don't comment because you don't know the reasons behind this. That sounds just as snippy.
No, but then keep my name out of your mouth at the end is like clearly you're emotionally affected by this statement.
No, it's not emotionally. It's just annoying, dude.
That's
it's annoying.
emotionally affected.
If I could, I wish I could put you in
a Tua defender.
I'm not.
You're a Tua defender.
I'm more of a situation defender because it's easy for me to seem like a Tua defender. I'm defending the situation, right? I'm defending that you have people, and if I put you in this situation, you would be pretty irritated too about people you having to answer questions about something somebody else said that doesn't know what you are going through and why you had to do what you did. Right? So, Go ahead.
But in regards to this last clip that you just played, what I find irritating about it is that you have to, everything is every part of his answer, every first part of his answer is so valid, and nobody would bat an eye at his first parts of his answer. It's the little
extra at the end, the chips on the couch.
Takes away from what you originally said.
Agreed.
Because it's agreed. You were taking accountability for, you said, I need to be better, Brewer needs to be better. That's great. That's all fans want to hear from you is accountability for what happened, why you threw that interception against the Bills. But then it's so easy to criticize me from your couch with eating your chips. Like
you are 100% correct, right? But here's what I would say. It's easy in hindsight to say maintain your cool and only give the first part. But I know there's been a number of times where I started off giving a very accurate, very mellow, very, explaining the situation so that people understand. By the time I got to the end, I was mad. Right? It's human nature. So while the last part of that wasn't necessary, I'm not mad at what he said about Ryan Clark. And I like Ryan Clark. Right?
Yeah.
But we are consumed with telling people what's going on with somebody without knowing their situation and without knowing the reasons. So I didn't mind him saying that to Ryan Clark. The last part, and one of the reasons why I try to explain what is actually going on a football field, so people will know, right? The fact of the matter is all people see when they watch a game is a quarterback getting paid a boatload of money, a center getting paid a boatload of money, and y'all can't do something as simple as snap it. It seems very simple. And so from that standpoint, you're not commenting on these situations like me. You're commenting like you, like a fan. So all I try to do is I don't tell you you're ridiculous or whatever. I just try to, explain what's going on. In that case, you're 100% correct. Understand the people that you are talking to that, okay, if Ryan Clark says it, if Cam Newton says it, it comes from a different place. It hurts more because those guys played and know how difficult the sport is. If somebody who's watching the game on Sunday is commenting on it, then you have to take a different approach simply because they are not aware and don't care about what you're going through.
Exactly. And I think that's the point. It's like you're losing. It shows to me, like when you get upset about a former player saying something, I can understand that because it's like this is somebody who was good at their craft, especially Cam Newton.
Right.
Like I understand that could be frustrating. But when like you are feeding into the public noise, which is something that you have sat here up and down and swore that you don't listen to anybody else, you don't listen to fans, you watch Bluey when you get home and Disney Plus, and like to me, when you have this much defensiveness when it comes to these things being asked by fans, and you have to throw that jab at fans, it's just not a good look because it just proves that you're like. That I'm sorry that you're not mentally tough the way that you want to perceive, yourself to be, in the way that everybody has accused you of being mentally soft.
You want me to give you a little secret? Nobody is, right? Yeah, let's not. Football is an emotional sport, right? It's played with a lot of emotion. You have both good and bad emotions. We see it in players all the time. It's the, even though Tua was wrong, like, because I try to avoid, no matter when I'm talking to anybody, right? I try to avoid commenting on the people that you entertain, right? I get upset about it too, because I think a lot of times people don't really understand, what it is you do. But I can't be mad at them because they're not as knowledgeable as I am. I get more upset when somebody who's doing the same thing or have done the same thing that I've done attacks as if they are a fan, right? So him attacking a fan, hell, Tua, I was eating chips on my couch and drinking cider boys with Tobin last week, right? And I've listened to the game and watched the game, and we watch it as fans, right? I have in the back of my mind that I did that and I understand what's going on and what happened. But in the end, I just want the team to win. And that's the part that I think a lot of players, not just Tua, a lot of players, you think you're frustrated, right?
Mm-hmm.
Fans are frustrated, and a lot of times they're frustrated for all the wrong reasons because they're not really knowing what's going on and why things are happening. So all they have are the results.
You're
That's
a Tua
all they
defender,
have.
Leroy.
No, I'm not.
You're a Tua defender.
I said Tua was wrong.
Yeah.
Like I said, I would never like to comment about somebody sitting on the couch eating chips. I was like, damn, I was doing that. And I made a comment about your badass pick.
But I think
I also put it in perspective and told Tobin why it happened. So I'm playing both sides of it here. But the frustration of not winning, right? See, because as a player, you got 14 more games and you got to find a way to fix it. So your energy is into that. As a fan, you get miserable for 7 days until you play again. I understand that. I understand all of that. I just, again, here's what happens. You can attack the professionals. So I give you a perfect analogy. If another boxer comes up to a boxer talking trash and they get into it, that guy should know better, right? You know who you're dealing with. But if a fan comes up and talks trash to a boxer, you can't give him a two-piece because y'all on different levels and you can really get in trouble because you shouldn't be hitting a guy that can't protect himself. And that's kind of how it goes. Like when you go down the chip path, or you start talking about fans, it's like, wait a minute, fans are being fans.
Well, we are going to address the Cam Newton comment and the Tua response directly, as some more comments were made today that we will also unfold in the next hour. But before we do, we're going to come back and attempt to tickle Leroy's fancy on the Tobin and Leroy show. Time now to tickle Leroy's fancy.
Gotta tell you what.
Yeah.
Watching this golf, there's no coochie coochie coo.
I'm assuming you mean it's belt to ass, unfortunately.
Yeah. Yeah, they got to win this last match to only lose the morning session 3-1.
Well, I'm glad you're watching that because you're getting roasty toasted in the chat.
Why?
People are accusing you. Let me just read some of these things here. Nay says, Leroy, please let Brittney finish. We've heard your defense of Tua already.
It's not. Why? Can I ask a question?
Look,
this is an honest question.
Yeah.
Why do you think I'm defending Tua when the first thing I said was, going after fans that way is not the best way to go about this, and I'm not good with that. That's the first thing I said.
Another
the
person
very
says,
first thing.
Rumor has it Leroy is on Dolphins payroll.
I wish.
That was me. Another person, Brandon says, Leroy defending Tua like his livelihood depends on it. Even if the criticism is fair.
How am I defending Tua? Tell me. Tell me.
Hey, I'm just reading what the chat says, dude.
But I'm saying, look, if we're gonna go that route, see, because I'm a person that, like, if you have a problem, tell me why. So tell me, how am I defending Tua? Where did I defend Tua?
Hey, look, I'll let
I could go to any NFL player and say, when you're being criticized, who do you have the most problem with being criticized by? Another player who knows what you're going through. That's nothing new. Okay. And then I followed up by saying, don't go after fans. They're fans. Like, they only care about wins and losses. They don't care how the sausage is made. Right? So how is that defending Tua or being on the Dolphins payroll? That's factual. That's like, I can tell you from not only from firsthand experience, but seeing guys go through the frustrations of that.
Well, it's going to be Leroy versus the callers next hour as we are going to hear.
But that's not still, you know what? In everything that you said, here's what the best part about that is. It's still not an answer.
No,
so
I mean,
if you want to comment, if you want to get mad at somebody making a statement, then you can't follow it up with another statement without explaining it. Does that you're doing the same thing?
Look, we have the callers who will be lining up next hour. We're gonna hear. We're gonna
Go
hear.
ahead. Line them up.
We're gonna hear Cam Newton. We'll line it up.
Please let me know how I'm defending Tua.
Well, look, I'm gonna give you a very quick, rapid fire version of tickling your fancy. And you tell me if these things tickle your fancy for the weekend. Yeah, thumbs up, thumbs down as we get out of here. Let's start off with number one, the Ryder Cup going on until Sunday. Leroy says,
my fancy is tickled.
All right, I could have guessed that one. You know, we're going to keep an eye to see if America can do good in the best ball and in the singles, right? Did I say that right so far? I'm saying
no.
things, right?
Yeah, they go foursome. That's alternate shot. Then they go 4 ball, which is best ball, and then they do the same thing tomorrow, and then they go singles on Sunday.
Well, we know that obviously is going to be on the top of your watching list. So let's go and move into some college football this weekend. There's going to be no Miami Hurricanes, of course.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have an entire open slate of college football. Leroy, you been watching Michigan this? I
watch them. They got a young quarterback who's supposed to be everything in a bag of donuts, and he's 18, so he's struggling a little bit. You know, it's gonna take him a little bit of time. So they look bad a couple of weeks, and in a couple of weeks they, have a couple of soft spots, and he looks great and he looks better. But all right.
Well, some big games for you tomorrow. If you feel like watching some ranked football, 3:30 p.m. LSU Ole Miss. Tickle your fancy, Leroy?
Yes, sir.
That's number
Yes,
4
sir.
LSU versus number 13 Ole Miss.
Lane Kiffin's daughter is dating a LSU linebacker, and he said, and his response was, bet the over.
The over. It's 7:30 p.m. tomorrow, Leroy. Number 6 Oregon takes on number 3 Penn State.
Another big game. Penn State over the years has been ranked in the top 5, and then they manage, once they get to games like this, to blow it.
All right, and this isn't a game. No matter how high or low the rankings drop, Alabama at 17, Georgia number 5 tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. Does that tickle your fancy, Leroy?
Alabama, Georgia, like over
Alabama,
the last 10 years, that's been the game of the year for a number of years. So it's much watch TV right there.
My fancy is Tickle.
Must watch TV. Let's go ahead and fast forward to Sunday. The NFL schedule kicks off with a 9:30 a.m. Vikings versus Steelers. That's something you're interested in, Leroy? Okay.
I'm interested. Why am I interested?
Vikings, and because he's gonna be there.
No, I'm not gonna be there.
You're not going to England, London?
No.
Where is this game going on?
I think is it
Mexico?
Is it? Yeah. No. Why? Aaron Rodgers plays for the Steelers.
Hate Aaron Rodgers. 9:30 a.m. though, so that's going to be in Dublin.
Yep,
that's right. You're going to the Leroy Ford Bowl. You're not.
No, I'll bring my iPad.
Yeah.
Hook it onto my golf cart. Watch all the TV and golf I want.
All right, 1 p.m. slate. Browns Lions. That do anything for you? All right.
No, I'll watch it because I'm on TV in Cleveland, but yikes.
Eagles Bucks, undefeated teams, 1 p.m. slate. How does that?
Yeah, I want to see it. Like, are we like? I mean, that Baker man, he just finds a way, right? It's fun to watch because at the end of all these games, you don't know how it's going to get done.
Now we got 2 big ones here. Ravens Chiefs at 4:25 p.m.
Yep. I think Baltimore's a better team right now.
Hey, look, you know what they say? 1 and 2 teams right now. It's new 3-0. So we'll see what happens with these teams. Packers Cowboys. The return of Micah Parsons.
I want to see Micah Parsons get 9 sacks.
That's going to be 8:20 p.m. on Sunday nights, and I'll save the Monday night game for Monday. I think we know more or less where your fancy lies in that. I got 2 more for you. Marvel Zombies is on streaming right now on Disney Plus. Marvel Zombies do anything for you?
No.
Fancy, not tickled.
That is unfortunate. I thought that was going to do it. I thought Marvel Zombies was the one for sure. But that is Tickle Leroy's Fancy. When we come back, it's Leroy versus the callers, Tua versus Cam Newton, and me versus what the kids say nowadays. Stick around. We got much more Tobin and Leroy when we come back. Welcome on in to the third hour of the Tobin and Leroy show. We got some breaking news, so I'm going to go ahead and give you your headlines. These headlines brought to you by Doral Volkswagen Doral VW. Just broke the rules of gravity. Prices are falling so fast. We're checking for a crater.
I know what it is.
Price. I know it's bad news. Volkswagen's price, like they lost their minds. Doral Volkswagen, buckle up. No one sells for less. No one. Breaking news, unfortunately, out of Sunrise. And I'd like to thank Schmeeth and Schmolnick for bringing this to our attention. Paul Maurice tells reporters that Florida Panthers captain Aleksander Barkov is undergoing surgery for a right knee injury that was injured during practice on Thursday. His timeline as of right now is up in the air, but they are saying that it is likely that he will miss the entire season.
There's no need to bring him back to scramble the last month or two of the season, right? This is, this is a guy that's going to be with your organization for a number of years. And yeah, it's unfortunate. It sucks, but
if Barkov might return this year, the Florida Panthers can exceed the cap by up to $3.8 million for his injury. If he's medically declared out for the full regular season and playoffs, they can exceed the cap by his full $10 million. And then he's ineligible to play this season or the playoffs.
That's damn near any player in Major League Hockey, right?
Listen, if there's anybody who can get something done, it's our boy Bill Zito. I'm not gonna lie, he's gonna work his magic, I'm sure, but it is a crushing blow. Sasha Barkov, most likely out for the season after sustaining an injury in practice yesterday. And that's just a heartbreaker, man. You're not going to be able to replace him, but if this happens to other organizations around the league, pack it up, season's done.
Yeah, just imagine if it happened in like who is it? They just played in the finals. The Oilers, Edmonton.
Yeah, for sure. If like Connor McDavid.
Right.
Like that, you're packing it up. But of course, with this team, it's a tough blow for sure. It's always going to be a tough blow. But luckily, we had that offseason where we were able to retain most of the talent. We have good young talent coming up. We got mini Barky. We got other things that definitely could benefit the team. But it's just unfortunate. It's a big loss. You won't be able to replace that. But you got to do your best to move on.
Yep. Like, it's weird that one of your best players gets hurt and you still think, like, we're still sitting here thinking, they could still win.
That's crazy. Right?
That's crazy.
That is the benefit of being a Panthers fan at this moment. And one of the qualities of the team is depth. Right. Later on, we're going to talk to Alex Donno about the Miami Hurricanes, but I know he's also does halftime and post-game shows with the Florida Panthers. We'll see if he has any other information on who could be a potential acquisition and how the Panthers plan to go about this. But definitely crushing blow. Schmeeth points it out. Now they can trade for Connor McDavid. Hey, listen, we pick up Connor McDavid, dude. Come on now. We're going to be looking like Thanos.
The league would flip the bleep out, right?
Yeah, that's fair.
Would everybody in hockey lose their mind?
Oh, yeah. No, for sure. No,
or call Edmonton and say, you better not do it.
I think if Connor McDavid flips over, it's, I would say it's like Kevin Durant when he went to the Warriors, but that was like what just happened in Boston.
He wasn't traded though.
No, he wasn't. He went there on his own, which is
why a free agent.
Yeah. Which is why I think it's like, and more of like the villain, the villain aspect of what Kevin Durant faced, I think was more similar in our most recent acquisition that we got from Boston, Marchand. I think that one mirrored the Kevin Durant situation more. This, to me, if we were to get Connor McDavid,
Marchand, keep in mind, like Boston traded Marchand.
Yeah, but I mean,
So-
he did, but he also was like, "Hey, I'm only going there." So yes, they traded him, but he said, "You're sending me there." Essentially, he kind of forced that trade.
All right.
And I saw the behind the scenes of when they broke the trade. Everyone was devastated. It's not like, hey, yes, we.
You know what they could have did?
What?
Paid him.
Oh, they could. Yeah.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
That's another thing.
So they could
That
have
is another
also
thing.
just given him his contract and
Yeah.
and it would have been done. But they decided we're not gonna pay him. Let's trade him.
Yeah. I'll actually be boots on the ground or boots on the ice on Monday Heat Media Day, and also I'll be at the Panthers game, and then I'll be doing the post game for the Dolphins.
Jeez.
It's an action-packed day for your boy.
You
But
and Tobin, we got to go to Heat Media Day, and then Tobin's got to do the pregame, right after we get out of there.
Yeah, I know. So what are we doing? I'll be over there. You'll be over there. Oh, what's up, man? Come on, what you trying to do? All right. Well, we are going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we are going to address
phone calls
and Tua's comments on Cam Newton and Cam Newton's response, all that. So start lining them up. 305-567-0560, 305-567-0560. So callers versus Leroy. He claims he is not defending Tua. We'll see if he can defend this latest act by the Dolphins quarterback when we come back. That is right. You used to call me on my cell phone. If you're interested on getting in on this conversation, you can call us on our hotline, 305-567-0560. Leroy has long been accused of being a Tua defender, and he has had enough of the accusations.
Yes.
He is ready to defend himself. But before he does, we shall present the last piece of evidence. If you've been listening to the show earlier, we reminded the audience of his comments about it's harder than it looks when you're sitting there eating chips on your couch, telling Ryan Clark to keep his name out of Ryan's mouth. And now the most recent egregious offense. Let us remind the courtroom of Cam Newton's comments on Tua that led to this press conference yesterday.
Let's go to Cam Newton first. What should we be saying about Tua after last night's loss?
Disappointed. I'm disappointed. I think, as I'm watching this game, there were signs of, he was in the rhythm. But this is the frustrating reality that we are faced with, not just as fans, but as people who observe this game. Observe this game. Come on, beat him up, word. Yep. Tua Tagovailoa is making more than Patrick Mahomes, Justin Herbert, Lamar Jackson, Jalen Hurts, Baker Mayfield, Matthew Stafford, Jaden Daniels. Am I pocket watching? No. I'm putting things into perspective here. What Biggie say? More money, more problems. Well, in this case, it should be more money, more expectations. When I see Tua Tagovailoa over this year alone, I've heard him more than I ever have. That's not to say you can't talk. Right. I like quiet Tua, Alabama Tua, chip on the shoulder Tua. Not, is somebody going to come in and watch film? Hey, let's see what this is. Hey.
Now, nothing necessarily too critical, but it was enough to elicit this response.
Can I say this?
Yes.
And this is, I'm gonna go back to just careers, right? Think of Cam Newton and what was said about him when he played, right?
Yep.
Now, if I take Tom Brady or Donovan McNabb or Peyton Manning, and they say the same things, does it have a different effect because of who's saying it? Because we had a lot of questions about Cam when he was playing, including in the Super Bowl, him walking away from a fumble. Okay? So understand where the criticism is coming from. I understand what he's doing now. I understand that that is his job. But what I'm saying is, should it come from more from a place of understanding how people could be very critical of a player in general?
Well, this is the response from Tua.
Anybody can play quarterback in this league then. I mean, I want to see anybody on the streets come and play quarterback. I mean, Cam's doing his thing for sure, but I think it's easier to be able to hold a clicker and talk about it that way, or talk about what someone else is doing wrong when you're not going out and having to do the same as them, right? So I think it's easy to do that. I think anybody can do that. I don't think anybody can play quarterback. So, yeah.
Now, the notion that anyone can hold a clicker, not anyone can play quarterback, is valid for someone like me. But now when he's responding to former MVP, former Super Bowl participant, Cam Newton, do you think this is a valid response from Dolphins quarterback?
What I think is again, the criticism could be valid. What I've been saying this whole time is the problem that players have is that it's coming from another player that had to deal with the criticism and comes from a place, the same place that you came from. You understand what I'm saying? Like so there should kind of be a level of understanding what Tua's going through. Instead, you call him out for all the things that maybe somebody else would, right? So a fan would say, look at all the money you're making. A quarterback would be along the lines of, sometimes you being the highest paid has to do with when you got your contract, not how good you are. And with that, the criticism, and with that, all the other stuff, right? But Cam Newton went at him like he never had to deal with that stuff. And that's the part that I will, if you want to say defend Tua, I will. If a fan says, look at all the money he makes and look at all that, I don't expect them to know why Tua makes so much money, right? Whoever signs the next contract gonna make more than Tua, whether he's better than Tua or not. Whoever signs the next contract gonna make more money than Lamar Jackson, whether he's better than him or not. It's just how that position works.
Well, we have people in our chat. Make sure that you tune into us on a weekly basis. You can catch us on YouTube, Twitch. YouTube is I actually forgot what the new thing is. I think it's Miami 104.3 WQAM. That's
and wait, that's it. Well, can I just real quick?
Yeah.
I didn't say that Cam can't, because somebody said if it can't come from a former player and it can't come from the fans, then who can it come from? I'm not saying Cam can't, like, God, I wish like you would just listen to what I'm saying. It's not the criticism. It's how you criticize somebody when you've done the same exact thing and had to deal with the same criticisms. How you say it or how you go about criticizing him should come from a place of experience. That's all I'm saying.
Well, we've had enough of your Tua defending ways.
Cam is complaining like he was perfect when he played. Do you not get he's complaining like he was Tom Brady or Peyton Manning, who also took criticism.
Yeah, everyone takes criticism.
I understand that, but not from a guy who's going through the same thing that he's going through. I don't think. Oh my God.
Well, let's get to the phone lines now. One of the most active people in our chat, Nene, is on the line. Nene is ready to explain why she thinks Tua's a big baby and Leroy's out here defending him. Nene, are you on the line?
Greetings from Fort Bragg, North Carolina.
What's happening?
North Kakalaki. Nice to hear from you, Nene.
Right, I'm organically from Miami-Dade County, but I served in the military, so you're dealing with a soldier here, Leroy. I hope you're prepared.
I'm prepared.
Thank you for your service, Nene. Please explain yourself.
Explain yourself.
And all I ask is, Leroy, let me land the plane because I know how you get. You did our girl Brittney like this when you didn't hear something.
All right, land the plane. I'm gonna zip it until you tell me it's okay to respond. How's that?
Airborne all the way. So here's the thing, Leroy. I understand your perspective, especially that you played the game, this, that, and the other. However, just like anywhere you go, you have to know how to read the room, right? And from the perspective of what you're saying about Cam Newton should know because he endured this, such and so, this more validates why Cam Newton wasn't wrong, right? And Tua's reaction was wrong. I think Tua has a tendency when he gets critiqued, he kind of gets, just like on the field, he gets happy feet, he gets crazy eyes, he starts throwing interceptions, he starts telling fans to eat chips. And this is the thing that we just want to hear is acknowledgement of that. I understand personally, your opinion is from a player perspective. However, 99.9% of the people that are listening to your show never played the game of football. All they know, it's been 24 plus seasons with no playoff wins. And we brought in this guy with the number 5 pick to come in here and do what he's supposed to do. The other thing that I would say I have a problem with Tua while I have this time is he mentioned his injuries in that presser. What a slap in the face to the fan base that had questions about his injuries when he's out here, show me the money and keeping receipts. We're seeing him throwing interceptions and fumbling the ball, right? For me, It's the passive aggressiveness of Tua. Leroy, I don't think you always hold him 100% accountable. I'm going to drop this bar and then I'm going to land this plane. Accountability is not one line followed up with bars of excuses. So when you give bars of excuses, you're going to be held accountable, especially from a fan base that all we want from you, sir, is to win. We don't want to be told what to eat. We don't want to be told how to feel. We just want to win. So, Leroy, when we hear anything, and we may be wrong, Leroy, I even played this game, we may be wrong. We're hypersensitive that he is sensitive. And I land my plane there. Thank you, guys.
You know what? Look, Leroy, I give you credit for allowing her to land. I give her credit for a good call. And that was solid right there.
I've never gotten upset at people making valid points. And I'm not saying, here's the thing. Tua's wrong for the way he responds to fans. Because here's what we all know, right? Just because they don't know your situation, the only thing you're going to do is make your situation worse by explaining at times because it seems like excuses. Okay? And Cam's not wrong for saying what he said about Tua. I'm just saying this, that sometimes we forget where we were when we were going through that and how we handled that stuff. And I can almost guarantee you, Cam Newton got in a fight with a guy that was talking trash to him on his own team. Okay? So let's not forget some of the circumstances and situations we went through. And some players, some former players, have a better way of explaining the same thing Cam Newton did without putting him up here and the other player down here. You see what I'm saying? Because the way Cam explained that, even if it's valid, and even if he's 100% correct, he explained as if though he didn't go through those same things. If he had said, listen, we all go through this, you got to go through it. And the word I would use is humble. Right?
Yeah.
Don't walk with your chest out if you ain't playing perfect football. And you need people to be more sympathetic to what you're going through and more understanding. Your responses at the podium don't show that. Right? And so that's kind of where I'm going with that. Now, again, the word I would use for Tua is humble, right? Because here's what I learned about playing that sport for that long. No matter how good things are, no matter how good things have gone, no matter how much you get paid, you're going to be on the other side of it if you play long enough. And so when you're up top, when you're getting the money, keep that in mind. So that when you go through these struggles, when you have difficulties performing your job, when you're not playing your best football, people are more sympathetic because you haven't thrown it in their face. And so from that standpoint, that's where I am as far as Tua, and that's where I am as far as Cam. Like, yeah, you can be mad if somebody says something about it. Yeah, you can be snippy about it. But understand, every professional athlete has not played perfect their whole career. And if you act like a jackass when you're on top, more people going to step on you when you're on the bottom. And it's partly your own doing. So kind of play it in the middle. You ever notice, no matter how great Tom Brady was, no matter how many championships, right in the middle, right? So that when he was playing terrible, when Tom Brady was playing terrible, or Peyton Manning couldn't throw the football, right? We didn't have that other side to look at when he was walking around with his chest out. There's a way to carry yourself when you know and understand you're not perfect. And in sports, you're never going to be. Dude, I was a fumbler. So how I comment on people that fumble, knowing that I went through that, is a little bit different, even though I may have every right to get on somebody and say, we can't have that. Right? So that's why I look at both sides differently. It's not that I'm kind of defending Tua. It's not that I'm defending Cam. It's kind of one of those situations that, talk about reading the room. Everybody need to read the room, because you know somebody gonna say something to Cam at some point. Hold up, you ain't a Hall of Famer. What are you doing? We had issues when you played. When Cam Newton couldn't run, he couldn't play quarterback. Is that not accurate? So we all need a level of humility when we talk about football or when we play football. And all I'm doing is pointing all that out. But in the end, what you do is not who you are. You still go through those emotional, circumstances and situations when somebody comes at you.
You're a Tua defender, dude. No, I'm going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to flip gears for a second. Want to educate the audience on what the kids say on Tobin and Leroy show. Welcome back to the Tobin and Leroy show. It is a Frog Boy Friday. We got Leroy, we got Brittney, and we have hello, Figgy.
Hello, Jennifer.
Hi. And hi, Nene.
Okay. Yeah,
Well,
Nene.
We're best friends now.
she had notes.
I had notes.
She had
And
notes.
so did she.
She had notes.
Nah, it was an excellent call. Which every time you go to the phone line,
Speaks very eloquently, though.
It's a risky business,
See, but you know what? I can
Very
respect that.
respectful.
I can respect that, and it's not. Sometimes when people comment on stuff, this is how a conversation goes. It's caller from so and so. Tua sucks. Get over it. Let's just but that, like, if that's the way you feel, then if they lose on Tuesday, you can't call in and complain about the team not going to the playoffs in 20-some years because you have identified that your players aren't good, right? And so I appreciate the fact that she broke it down. And again, as a player, it's not that I don't criticize other players, okay? It's not that I don't call it like I see it, but it comes from a place of understanding. Put it this way. You have a kid, Marcos?
Yes.
As your kid gets older, you're going to have to, bring down the hammer on him. How you bring down that hammer is always going to keep in mind that that's your son, right? Versus some knucklehead on the street, how you would handle him. I'm merely saying that one of the reasons why I have to be careful about how I criticize players is not because I don't have, eyes and can see where things are going wrong, but because do you feel a little dirty if you're talking about a guy and you had an okay career too? Right? Like that's where I am with that. I'm proud of my career. I'm proud of what I did. But it still means that, like, I know what I went through to play football. So I have to come from that place, right? I have to come from that place of understanding how hard it is. All fans want to do is win. They don't care why. And so that's why I don't go at fans, because we're coming from two different places. Okay? I haven't been a fan for a team for 20 years. The closest thing I've been through what these fans are going through is the team I grew up on never had a winning record till I left. Right? So, to say that I don't understand is not accurate. And I don't ever go after fans about what they believe because it comes from a different place. I merely just say that for Cam because do we not remember some of the crap Cam did when he was playing?
Yes. And, it would be.
So should he not, when we talk about mental and all this and that stuff, hey, you threw a laptop, dude. You got in a fight with your cornerback because he was talking trash because you threw a pick. That doesn't sound like he's the Cam Newton we talking to now. That's all I'm saying. Some players, when they talk about football and talk about other players, they always have in the back of their mind what that guy is going through or how difficult it is or what. Boneheaded mistakes are boneheaded mistakes. You called those out, right? When you do something stupid, it don't matter who you are. Like, yeah, it don't take, an expert to see that was dumb, right? Like, do we need to be a professional, a former professional athlete to know that Sealer running into the punter and Judon running into the punter is no good? No. But
Brittney.
a guy that played quarterback, right? The way he played quarterback a certain way. When he couldn't run, he couldn't play football because he wasn't a great passer of the football. Can we acknowledge that? So where's his comments coming from? Not
from not understanding.
Right.
Well, you know what I can do? I can help you understand what the kids are saying. Brittney, hit my music.
You're going to land this plane regardless of the weather. You got a 40 mile an hour side wind. I'm landing that plane, damn it.
I'm getting to this, baby.
It's been about an hour of this landing the plane on Tua, so please let's get to this.
Well, okay. You know why? Because she's interested in learning too. So
I want to learn things, Leroy.
Wow.
PTSD on Tua talks. Like, you know what it is to hear the entire day just of one little thing he said. We're over it.
You used to deal with
Can I just say this? I never bring it up. I never bring what Tua said up. Ever.
Remember the Robbie Tua debates thing? Didn't you love
that gave me so much PTSD and trauma, and I'm living it all over again.
Well, look, you can find new ways to express yourself on this week's rendition of What the Kids Say. All right, this was gonna get kind of crazy. I'm not gonna lie to you towards the end, but we're gonna start with a softball here.
We taxed in here. Oh, go. Sorry.
Get Sendy. You guys wanna take a stab at what Get Sendy could possibly be? Oh, Brittney, you know that one.
But no. She got you're the youngest, so you know what it means.
True.
So I don't get to participate?
So you do know that one.
Yes. She
That's
knows
one
what all
that
of it means.
What does that even mean?
I guarantee there's one she won't know.
Is Get Cindy have something to do with sending a tweet or something or a text?
Like you have that makes sense. Like, let's say, you get
so if I'm gonna send something, if I got I'm about that sounds good, right?
I'm about to fire up the tweets.
Is that not what it means?
Sendy. No,
break it down. Break it down.
Not at all what it means.
What does it mean, Brittney?
Okay, so it means it's referring to when someone, like, let's say, shotguns a beer. You guys know, when someone shotguns a beer?
I've heard of it.
So nowadays, these kids have adapted it and are using it, like, when they eat, like, their lunch. Like, they're like, oh, let's do a full sendy on the sandwich. Let's do a full sendy on this. So it's like full send. Like, I'm sure you've heard that saying, right? Like, full send.
I've heard that before. Yes, I've heard that. But like you said,
specifically, like going for it, like you're just going for it.
Okay.
And so it's like get sendy with your sandwich. It's like you're getting sendy.
It says
basically you're eating like Tobin.
No.
Because Tobin eats like he has 3 minutes before he has to report back to boot camp.
No, it's more like it's like the shotgun motion though. Like that's what the real emphasis of it is. You know what a shotgun is, right, Leroy?
Yeah.
Okay. So that motion that you do when you do a shotgun, you're getting, like, now you just do it with anything. So you're getting sendy with whatever it is.
They say.
Can I just say this? Let me tell you something about yo dumbass kids.
It says,
they need to stop abbreviating everything.
Is it necessary to get Cindy with my sandwich?
I don't think it's necessary. I'm just
right.
Don't shoot the messenger here, all right?
But it means to
Cindy.
Enthusiastically or daringly perform an action, often by embracing a risky full send approach. The phrase "let's get sendy" is now paired with a humorous trend where people pretend to shotgun various objects that aren't beer, such as food or even homework. What's to get sendy with this homework? Can't wait.
That sounds like if you're getting sendy with your homework, you're probably getting an F.
I'm sending it to someone else. So okay, get sendy. We're familiar with that. Figgy's not gonna like this one. She hates acronyms and when they shorten things. What about SYBAU? Brittney, hot off the buzzer again. Brittney,
wait.
Use it in a sentence.
That is the sentence.
That's literally the sentence.
SYBAU.
BAU. So you about to.
Okay, close.
Hold on. So
hey, Dade South's on it.
About BUA or BAU?
BAU.
I kind of like that, even though I will mess it up.
Like, you've heard of LOL, LMAO. Yeah. Well, now if somebody's talking too much and you just want them to be quiet, you just say SYBAU, dude.
And we will mess it up.
I don't know. I say so. I just say so. You about to?
There it is. Here it is, right here,
Just
Leroy.
don't repeat it.
Oh, that's what that means.
I would overuse this phrase. I don't know it.
Oh my goodness! All right, yeah.
That is, the kids are finding a way of getting it across without actually having to say it. And
man, so you know what's bad about this? I bet you there's a whole bunch of adults that's getting these messages and don't even realize what these kids are saying to them. You know what I'm saying?
Very true.
I'm telling you, you using letters to me, we gonna break it down because I need to know.
One of my best friends is a middle school teacher, and so she hears that all the time, and she's like, I love that you guys don't think that I know what you're saying. You're still gonna get in trouble.
They think it's code, but
I would be a savage.
Oh wait, because look, hold on, Jennifer.
Okay, I'm sorry.
This is designed to teach us what the kids are saying. Why are you taking notes? We say
No, I'm saying if I was a teacher in school nowadays, you would hate to step into my class.
Really? Okay.
Now, this is probably another one that Brittany's familiar with. JFig may be familiar with this as well, but I'm not.
Oh, you saying I got no chance?
No chance on this one. Leroy, if I do this, what does this mean?
Smidge.
Oh, like you're clapping, like, oh my god, congratulations.
Like the violin. Is that similar to the violin?
Okay,
like,
see, no chance. No chance on this
really?
one.
No, the violin is like this, sir.
No, but I'm saying, is that similar to that? You like baby
Smallest
clap?
violin. Brittany, what is this right here?
Clock it.
Clock it. Clock it.
Clock
And what
it.
is clock it? What is clock it, Brittany?
So wait, let me get this straight. So now I got a sign, and the meaning. I don't even understand the.
You know what,
meaning.
Nene? Clock it. Clock it.
Clock it.
Clock it. Nene clocked your tea, Leroy.
What? Hey, your tea got clocked, Leroy.
Oh.
Watch out.
So
Clock it.
somebody would do that to you when you got clocked.
No. Not like because what you are assuming is some sort of physical action. Like, he got clocked. No. This is more of in support of something or like a verbal like
so
yes.
you guys all Nene everybody was doing this.
Yes, everybody yes, Nene, clock it.
Like you just like you're like a poetry audience, and you're doing this, but instead you're doing this right here. You're doing this.
Nene's also gonna officiate.
So that's
wedding.
That's what the kids do instead of clapping.
Yep, clock it. But look, but this is like if you really just like agree with something, like someone is preaching right now. If you go to church and there's nothing but TikTokers there, everyone in the audience is just gonna be like, Jesus.
Oh, no. Amon-Ra St. Brown actually did it this his last game. He went to the camera. Clock it.
Now, this last one here before we go to break is something that I am very interested to see if Brittany knows.
Am I gonna know?
Oh, listen.
There's no chance we're gonna know, Leroy.
Not only are you not gonna know, you're not gonna accept this. Start digging in your butt, twin. Okay.
Did you just make this up?
I did not. I promise. I swear.
Did your little tadpole say that to you?
No. This is something I can guarantee. You ask that middle school teacher if they're not saying W this, chat this. They're saying, start digging in your butt, twin.
I will send her a text on break because that is one I have not heard of.
Ask her what SDIYBT, aka start digging in your butt, twin means.
Hey!
Start digging in.
Wait, stop taking notes!
Wait, twin at the end?
Twin at the end. Yes.
Twin, like
twin is a thing now. It's like, oh yeah, go twin. Like
twin is like
so when you say twin, does that mean you agree with somebody?
No, twin is like
samesies.
It's like your bestie, like you're locked in.
Okay. Yeah, so it's like good
you
friend.
and
like me and JFig are twins.
Twin,
twin.
Okay.
Twin, Tobin, Leroy, twin. What's up, twin? That's what they say. I don't like it personally.
Hey,
but I feel like that
you know
word's
who need to
reserved.
be doing this? The whitest man I know,
Tobin. Next time you see Tobin, say, "Start digging in your butt, twin."
First of all, I'm gonna confirm what the hell that means before I just start blurting out what the kids say.
Seriously,
Can I tell you
Hold
that?
on, I'm gonna text.
Your
I'm gonna text.
definition behind this.
I'm gonna text Rebecca.
Yes.
Hold
Oh,
on.
listen. I'm going to send you guys a video on the chat or in the group chat here, and you guys will get an understanding of the origin of said meme. But even the origin, they did AI over the voice. It's a very strange thing these kids are doing, but nonetheless, start digging in your butt, twin. The phrase deliberate absurdity is a part of its appeal, with the expectation that it's understood as a silly joke rather than having any literal or inappropriate meaning. So essentially, it means nothing.
So
but
I
people
think
will say
that I think that on Monday somehow Leroy should sneak in start digging in your butt twins.
to tell me to go say. Say, listen, if they just sometimes you need that 1 yard, and it really just you need to just start digging in your butt, twin, and then that is going to be able to propel you to get that first down. If you sneak it in there while you're talking about football, he won't even notice.
So my friend just texted me back. She says, "No, but my brother does." Mind you, her brother's like a 20-year-old man. So I don't know.
All right, look, I will send you the origin of it. We're already later than we need to be. I apologize. I've been breaking the clock all day.
If Jennifer wasn't taking notes, we could have got.
Okay, you want to go ahead and blame me for this?
All right.
No,
Listen,
no, I'll blame you
everybody-
for all the rest of the 3 hours on the show.
SY, use it SY.
Black
I don't like this segment.
More Tobin and Leroy when we come
like
back.
This segment.
Thugger. I did a lot. I'm telling you, he says volcano. I'm telling you, he says living like a volcano. Welcome back to the Tobin and Leroy show. Final hour of the show. We are already late, so stop distracting me with your dashing good looks in the back there, Jimmy. I'm attempting to focus. All right. Let's go ahead and give you some quick headlines because we've got Alex Donno coming up. These headlines are brought by Doral Volkswagen. Doral Volkswagen just broke the rules. Gravity prices are falling so fast. We're checking for a crater. Volkswagen's priced like they lost their minds. Doral Volkswagen. Buckle up. No one sells for less. And I mean no one. No one. No. These are some headlines that we have not had a chance to get to. So we're going to go ahead and give you guys some rapid fire headlines here. JJ Redick has been extended by the Lakers. We all know our boy Tobin would hate that. How do you guys feel about that? Think he deserves it?
Deserves. I don't know.
Yeah, no one cares.
No one really cares.
At
He's
the
a
same time,
podcaster, right?
I'm not shocked
Yeah.
either.
Yeah, I'm not shocked either, but I think he needs to start digging in his butt, twin. You see, if you just drop it, if you really just drop it, you can probably
you know what? I really like it. I'm not gonna lie. I'm
telling
not
It's
gonna
better
lie.
than Skippity Toilet or whatever it was.
Oh,
so much
skibbity, whatever. Yeah, I feel that.
Like, to diffuse a situation you're in an argument. You know what?
Yeah.
Start digging in your butt, twin.
Look, sometimes life kicks you, and you just gotta start digging in your butt, twin. But anyway, if you're just catching us, that is a phrase that kids say. Please don't think that I'm just saying random things. I apologize. Someone just got in their car right now. I was like, what the hell is going on? The Marlins yesterday lost to the Phillies, but that's okay because they have a chance to play spoiler to the Mets. Series with the Mets takes place today. They're 5 games below 500. They're not going to make it, but that's fine. The Marlins still have a chance to play spoiler 7-10 today. Keep an eye out for that. That will be at Lone Depot Park. Tom Brady denies that he got $75 million for a flag football game. Did you guys hear that story?
We heard the other one about him cheating with the Raiders and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, whatever. He's doing
I haven't
crazy
heard this.
stuff.
Look at him getting accused of more things, huh?
More
He's
things.
just so morally correct.
Ethical.
An ethical man.
I disagree. No, I'm kidding.
No, we all did. That's
obviously. We know that obviously Tom Brady is a weasel, but I cannot blame him if what I heard was true. Ends up happening. He was there's a Fanatics flag football game going on in Saudi Arabia, and rumor on the street is Tom Brady was offered $75 million for one game of flag football. That was a word on the streets, and Tom Brady responds and says, "Are we just picking numbers out of a hat and reporting them? While we're breaking news, Elvis is doing the halftime show, and Babe Ruth is going to sign some autographs for fans."
Sweet.
Who cares about facts, right?
So now
and my
he's coming
response
from
to
the
that,
dead? Like, what's going on?
what are we doing here,
What's
Tommy
going on,
boy? Thomas. Little much there, bucko. Anywho, apparently
They're
it's a
digging
lie.
in their what?
Digging in their butt, twin. In addition to the one to talk about digging in the butt, twin, Sean Alexander welcomes his 14th child. 14th child. Hey, that guy is getting sendy, if you know what I'm talking about. That guy.
Stop.
Hey, listen. 14 children. That's Leroy. Sean Alexander welcomes his 14th child, and I think that he potentially is getting sendy. Would you agree to that?
He getting jiggy. I don't know about Cindy.
He's digging in that butt, twin.
No. He ain't.
You know what? Don't even finish that.
Don't even. One more.
I know where you're going at.
That was good. That was good, Big. That was good. One more before we hit a break and get back with Alex Donno. Oregon. They've done it again, baby. They have done it again. They're debuting. It's Mummy Duck Unis on the road this weekend versus Penn State. Check out that mummy shiesty. We got mummy wrap on the arm sleeves there. And if you can see the detail on the actual duck itself, we got ourselves a mummy Oregon duck. Do you guys like this? Do you think it's too much? Are you over Oregon?
Hey, is there anybody that does uniforms like Oregon?
No.
And so whatever they come out with, I'm always interested because they were basically the OGs, right? They were the
Yeah.
OGs of just doing every different kind of uniform possible. So
This is cool though. This is so
yeah.
cool.
No, it's
Yeah.
really cool. I'm usually a hater of like alternative uniforms, but those are cool.
Speaking of alternative uniforms, we all know what we're expecting on Monday. You guys interested in seeing those pitch blue uniforms?
No.
Not really.
All
Why?
right.
Why?
I like them. You like them?
Well, see, here's the problem.
Because
I don't like just make them blue or
Agree.
make them black.
What? What are you talking about? What? I just said something about blue. I didn't really know what we were discussing. Okay.
I think there was a glitch on Twitch. Not
must
Twitch,
have been.
sorry. On stream.
Glitch on Twitch sounds cooler though.
You know, for
Yeah.
somebody who's supposed to be, supposed to be here.
It wasn't me.
Can I
I
just
don't know.
can I,
I don't
no,
know.
can I just
It
say
wasn't
this?
me.
You are the first person
Mhm.
to laugh the longest and the loudest.
Leroy, it wasn't me.
It's painful. It's painful. What
It
she
hurts.
does to us, Leroy. It hurts. It hurts,
It
you know.
hurts.
It hurts.
It hurts. It hurts.
We're gonna take a quick break. When we come back, Alex Donno of Locked On Canes will be joining us. I'm blue.
Are you done? Are you done?
Die.
I'm talking about Frog Boy. You come once a week and that's what you do?
Hey.
Trolling. He's
Listen.
out here digging in his.
Hey. Can't use my own words against me. All right, let's get Sendy with Alex Donno when we come back. Welcome back to the Tobin and Leroy show. A little bit of congratulations there coming in. And congratulations to this man who is about to join us because he has skyrocketed to the top of Hurricanes media. The guy who knows anything Hurricanes related is a man who is going to join us on our guest line, which is brought to you by Toyota of Hollywood. Shop over 2,000 Toyotas on sale at one location, Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood and Sheridan, toyotaofhollywood.com. Alex Donno of Locked On Canes and much, much more joining us here. Donno, how the heck are you, buddy?
Hey, I'm doing good. Miami's 4-0, and I get to just relax this weekend and watch a bunch of other teams play college football, which is always nice when you can get a little break.
Isn't that a good week off, though? Because usually you're either paying attention on your phone or looking at the scoreboard in the stadium.
Yeah.
Because in the stadium, do they only show ACC? They go top 25 ACC, right?
Yeah, it's hard. Like I'm in the press box usually, so I'll have like the scoreboard page open on my computer, but I'm obviously I'm missing like the actual games because I'm trying to pay attention to Miami, and it's tough. And then I try to want to watch like as many condensed games and highlights as I can. But it's nice not only for me to get a week off, Leroy, but I think it's a good time for Miami. I like this bye week. The one that comes again in 2 weeks, I don't like that one. I'd like to have them spread out a little bit. The second one to be a little bit later on in the season. But I think this one comes at a really good time because, Miami's played a couple tough games already, physical games. Florida State is on the other side of this bye week. It gives more time for Miami to prepare for the Gus Malzahn offense that looks really good so far at FSU. So as far as like timing for the first bye week, not just for me and my selfish reasons, I think for the entire team, it's pretty good.
If you had to, the way I look at it, there's a couple of things that are really noticeable about this team. One, the defense was bad because last year, because their star player was hurt and he was playing banged up for most of the year. And I don't think a lot of people realized, I didn't realize how hurt he was until I saw the beginning of this year, right? And then realize, oh, he's that guy, right? But they've added a lot of, power and up front on the defensive line. Offensively, I don't know if they're better, but all we talked about was all of the lost wide receivers. And I would say that the receiving core is better, more explosive. So that's two areas where you didn't know how the season was going to start. And then they come into this season and you go, wow. So maybe your quarterback is not a Heisman Trophy winner, okay? But guess what? You got a lot of young talent at wide receiver, running back, right? That seems to be better than what you had last year.
Yeah, I mean, I'll agree with you. Like the offense this year, they're not going to put up numbers like Cam Ward did last year. It's just that was like a generational thing. How many points and how many yards they put up last year. But I think like the offense can be better in certain ways. And I know you know this better than anybody, Leroy, being a former running back. I think the offense is more balanced this year. And, the offensive line, which is most of the same personnel from last year, but, the guys that they had from last year are, a year older and better. And I think the running game has more potential this year when you can add a guy like Marty Brown to it. And, we've not really even seen Jordan Lyle. At some point, he's going to be back, hopefully next week. Mark Fletcher's been doing an incredible job. So I think having a more balanced offense, it helps out your defense a lot. I think the defense is better anyway, but when your offense is capable, we've seen it already a couple times this year, of when you're playing with a lead and you can go on a 7.5, 8 minute long drive to not only then score points, but to take all that valuable time away from your opponent. And Miami, for the most part, has been dominant in time of possession so far this year. That wasn't their identity last year. And like not having that last year kind of allowed you to expose your bad defense to make them look even worse than they were. Like when Miami was up, we all remember when they were up 21-0 against Syracuse. And yeah, it was super early in the game when they were up 21-0. And then the offense just couldn't take enough time away from Syracuse's offense to hold on to that lead. So I think they're less likely to run into situations like that this year.
Can we just have Mario Cristobal? He don't have to coach, right? But can he please come build the offensive defensive line so people know like where you start building a football team?
Yeah.
Can he do that for the Dolphins?
I mean, they
because
want to
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know why the Dolphins don't understand that every successful team in NFL was built that way.
Yeah.
And they built it outside in.
Yeah, the Dolphins built a track team, and then they're like, oh, yeah, we also need guys to block. I forgot about that, but hey, we got all this speed here.
Donno, Leroy mentioned the wide receiving core, which I think is probably the deepest we've had since, early 2000s for sure. Because I saw like a very underwhelming YouTube video the other day that showed me like the top 5 Hurricanes wide receivers in 2010s, and God bless them. They're great players, but it was like
God bless whoever made a video about that. Like that's
it was like Alan Hearns and Stacey Coley, and I'm like, they're decent players, but like, you look at someone like a Malachi Toney or the catches that CJ Daniels has had, and you're like, wow, these guys are legit. But one thing I want to ask is we haven't really utilized a weapon that I've kind of been waiting on in Elijah Lofton, and I know you recently talked with Larry Bluestein, who had an interesting take on Mr. Lofton. Should I be worried about the lack of production, or is his breakout game right around the corner?
I mean, I think he already had like, I'm not going to call it a breakout game, but just compared to what he'd done in the previous 3 games, like he kind of broke out against Florida, and the entire passing game was not that good against the Gators, but like Lofton had, I think it was 4 catches for 43 yards, and at least 2 or 3 of those were like big first downs that he, when the offense wasn't doing so well, that he helped them convert. So I think it's like it's starting to happen. I have suspected, and again, I'm only speaking for me. This is just my opinion watching the first few games. I kind of wonder if like Lofton has been working his way back from something like a minor injury, because it's a little bit, and he's played and he's been blocking well, but he's been, virtually non-existent in the passing game until last week. So I hope we're starting to see it. I think we really need it because, Alex Bauman has not been that great so far. There were a couple moments, the other tight end, there were a couple moments in the Florida game where it's like, does he know that he's an eligible receiver on that play? Like he's not looking and the ball just kind of flies over his head.
That was so strange.
Yeah.
I saw that. He was like blocking, and I'm like,
yeah.
What are you doing? It's so strange.
It's like, this one's not a running play, dude. So I'm sure hopefully they can fix whatever those miscommunications were about. But I really think Lofton is a guy who should play a really important role, because Marcos, it's one of those things where what we've seen on the field for the first 4 games just doesn't match what I've seen in practice. Like in the the limited media viewing periods, Lofton is like, he's always really involved and he's always making plays. And, usually the guys who make plays in practice do it in games. Like that's been the case for Malachi Toney. I mean, Toney was maybe the most consistent receiver in practice, which felt crazy because he just turned 18 like a week ago. He was 17 years old during fall camp. It's like, this guy's really good. Another one like Josh Moore, he kind of broke out. He broke out in the South Florida game, but Josh Moore to me is a guy who like practices consistently better than we've seen through 4 games. So I think we'll see like more of him moving forward. But yeah, as far as like Elijah Lofton, like what the first 4 games doesn't really match what he does in practice. So I think the best is probably yet to come there.
If so, looking forward to next week in that offensive juggernaut. Like they flipped it around ever since they lost their quarterback and since he left or whatever, and they found a way to retool and find an offense that works. If the defensive line doesn't get there from Miami, how are we feeling about the secondary? Because they've never been kind of pressured. They've never been tested to this point, and that was a big question going into the season. And I've always said, you got a good pass rush, the secondary don't have to be great. Right. But there's going to come a time when you play some of those teams that probably throw a lot of different things at you that you're going to have to provide some resistance in the secondary. How are we feeling about if that is next week?
Yeah, that's a question I don't have a great answer for, but I'll try my best because you characterized it right that like four games in, they haven't been like tested so much in the back end that I feel like and like the numbers have been great. Like in terms of the yardage Miami's been giving up and the points they've been giving up, like you can say the defense has done an A+ job, but like you said, so much of it has been the pass rush, just setting the tone for the rest of it. And I think you're going to get tested one way or another by Tommy Castellanos because he's a threat to run the football. So Miami's going to want to try to, force him to be more of a pocket passer. He's had a lot of success throwing deep balls. Like I haven't seen as much of the intermediate stuff from Florida State, but he's hit some deep plays.
Mm-hmm.
And Florida State has some really good receivers. Like in one of their most dangerous players, Mekhi Danzy, is one of the fastest players in college football. He's also their leading rusher so far, so they're going to try to get him involved in the running game as well. And Squirrel White, who'd been injured, but I think he's healthy now, and Deuce Robinson. So like Florida State has some players that can test Miami's defensive backs downfield now. But Leroy, to answer the question as best as I can, I have every reason to feel like the defensive backs are a lot better than they were collectively last year. One guy who I was thinking about this the other day, I haven't really said his name or heard his name a whole lot because quarterbacks just aren't throwing in his direction, is Xavier Lucas, the transfer cornerback from Wisconsin. Like they're just not throwing at him. And I would assume he's been really good in coverage is part of the reason why. OJ Frederick has done a good job. I think the safeties have done a good job, especially Jacoby Thomas, who, more so is a hitter and a run stopper. I think he can cover as well, but he's a really good player in run support, had a sack last week, and Zechariah Poyser's done a pretty good job at safety. So, I mean, I think the secondary is a lot better than last year, but, to your point, they haven't just consistently been tested a whole lot because the pass rush has been so dominant that it's just not been an issue yet.
I got to tell you, that is probably one of the most impressive things is that those two outside guys, you very rarely find two guys like that. Usually, even in Michigan's case, they had two inside guys, right? And Graham and Grant, right? They had two inside guys, not outside guys. And but the way they control the game all over the field, I've never seen a DN or rush in cover so much ground on the football field built like he is. That's been the most impressive thing for me.
Yeah, and I spoke with Dalton Wasserman from Pro Football Focus yesterday. We talked a lot about Ruben Bain, and like he reminded me that not only is Bain right now the highest graded player in the entire country by PFF's metrics, but like his run stopping grades are like as good as his pass rushing grades so far. So he's a multi-tooled weapon on your defensive line that he also, he can stop runs like a top defensive tackle. He can rush the passer like a top edge rusher. So that's something else that stands out about him. And then of course the other guy is Akeem Mesidor, who is like, he's having a superb season. And I think he's the 7th graded pass rusher in the country, which is, out of the entire country, it's pretty darn high. And it's like, if he was playing on any other team where he's not sharing the spotlight with Ruben Bain, he would probably get talked about a lot more than he is. And for Bain to have a guy like Mesidor on the other side, you can't like exclusively double team Bain all game. Otherwise Mesidor is going to hurt you. So the two of those guys make each other better.
Is like on Sunday, this is a weird thing for me because he's not necessarily a defensive end, and he's a little big to play linebacker. Like, where do you think, like, they just make him a linebacker and do a lot of things like they do with rush ends now?
Who, Mesidor?
No.
Bain?
Bain. I mean, 6'3", 275. He's like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I haven't really thought that far ahead with him, but I assume that they expect a team to have a clear idea of how to use him because he's, it's early in the season, but he keeps showing up like as a top pick or a top 3 pick in like all the NFL mock drafts. So I think he's most comfortable playing on the end. So it probably would end up him getting into the right defensive scheme, I guess.
Right. All right. I was just curious because he's
Yeah.
like he's one of those guys that he might be too big, but he plays all over the field. So he might be too big to play linebacker, too small to play DN.
I think he's definitely too big to play linebacker. So I mean, I think we could probably agree on that. But yeah, because he dropped weight from last year, but he's still around 270, 275. And that was because he thought he played too heavy last year, around 290 plus. So he dropped weight to get faster.
Okay.
Donno, I know you are the Canes guy, but I would hate if I didn't ask your opinion on the breaking news today at a sunrise.
Oh no, yeah.
Barkey.
Awful.
Out for the season. How will this affect the team? And do you have any early favorites on who you think the Panthers will pursue in order to attempt to replace their captain?
To the second end of that question, I have no clue. But as far as
McDavid.
I mean, come on down. You can make that work. You can make that work. But yeah, I mean, just on the surface, like, with a healthy Barkov, obviously, I would consider the Panthers the odds-on favorite to three-peat as champs. But he's such an important part of that. Like, I think they're still really good even without Barkey. You know, obviously dependent on who they're able to acquire, you know, to fill that role, with him now reportedly being out for the season, Barkov. But I mean, I can't expect them to three-peat now without Barkey. I think they're still a playoff team. I think it's still a team that has shown in recent years. Now, they've usually had the fortune of like having their team pretty much, not completely, but mostly healthy for the playoff runs, but still in the regular season, they've been able to grind out big games even when they've had guys injured in the spring. So I still think this team's going to make the playoffs and have an opportunity, but it's hard for me to say that they're going to win another Stanley Cup without Barkov. So it's devastating. It is devastating to see that news today. And I feel bad because I was just talking with a friend of mine the other day who loves the Panthers, and basically saying that, like, you know, I think he said it, not me. So he's the mush, that like the only thing that can get in this team's way is like a badly timed, like, critical injury. And then like the next day, here we are. So it's awful.
What's his name? Who said that?
It was actually,
I'm gonna break his legs, Donno.
We need to have some
talk.
It was
his legs.
I don't want to say, because it's
it's fair.
I don't want to make public anger go out to this person.
You're a man of honor, Donno.
Right. I almost said it.
We're going through your friend list.
I don't want to. Yeah.
You hear that, Roy Bellamy? No, okay.
Roy.
Well, Donno, I want to say thank you for joining us. I feel bad. Every time, Donno is a very busy man. I see him on all platforms, but every time I'm hosting last second, I'm always like, Donno, can you join us today by any chance? And he's like, yeah.
I make myself seem like I'm busier than I really am.
That's the whole point. That's how you got to do it.
Yeah.
That's how you get paid.
Yeah,
like if you tell somebody I got nothing to do, they offer you one amount. If you say, let me see if I can squeeze you in, they're willing to offer more.
Yeah, like when Marcos texted me, seeing if I could come on today, he prefaced it by saying, like, I know you're super busy. And like, I didn't want to write back like, yeah, I'm all clear. So I'm like, I've got like an 8-minute window where I'm free. Like, I made it seem like I was super busy, but not as busy as I seem.
Could maybe squeeze you in for a good 8 minutes, but
8
don't
minutes,
put it back.
Donno, before we let you go, I want to ask, I know, you know, you becoming a parent was something that was happened, you know, on air. We've been following your cycle. About how old is your son now, if I'm not mistaken? 7. Okay, so it's probably still not into this stuff. But what I like to do every time I host a show is introduce them to new words that the kids are using, slang that the kids are using. So I want to get your opinion on some of these words here to see if maybe you're familiar with this term. Are you familiar with the term "get sendy"?
I don't think I've ever heard that before.
Wait.
Yeah.
Yo, look at his face.
He had the loading.
Like,
all right.
It was, if he was a computer, it'd be like loading.
You're familiar with shotgunning a beer, correct?
Oh yeah. I mean, I used to do it.
Well, that's full send. That's what they say. Now, apparently, kids are getting sendy with homework and sandwiches. And they're doing the same thing, but with sandwiches and inanimate objects. It's great.
Really?
I got two more for you. The acronym, this is great. SYBAU. SYBAU. Figgy has it. SYBAU. No, okay.
I don't. If you gave me like 2 hours, I couldn't figure that out. Like,
well, if a Knowles fan is in your face next week, you just tell them SYBAU, and that stands for shut your bleep up. Okay. So, and if your son is saying that to you, it is not a good thing. I want you to know that. Want you to know that.
So that's what he's been saying to me all these years.
That's what he's been saying. Now, I got two more for you. This right here, clock it. You ever heard of this one? Clock it.
Maybe I don't think I'm gonna say no. That one's a maybe, but I'll say no.
Sometimes you're talking Canes, Donno, and I'm just like, preach. It's essentially like you ever been to or seen a poetry slam where they're snapping after the poem? You know, it's kind of equivalent to that. You never heard of a poetry thing? They don't clap, they snap.
Does Donno look like does Mr. Hayes look like he been going to watch at a jazz place, watching some listening to some a poem
with some wine?
He's a poet.
With some wine.
My boy's a poet. He wants
to know. He just told you he shotgun beers.
I did, yeah.
Yeah,
well, I shotgun a beer like 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
All right, now this last one here, Donald. You ever heard of "Start Digging in Your Butt," twin?
I can't say I have.
No, well, listen. These are things that the kids are saying, so you're gonna be hearing it, Donald.
What's the context for that one?
No context, sir. No context. For example, I can use it and it can be a joke, or I can say the Dolphins really need to get tougher up front and really get that 1 yard conversion, and maybe they need to start digging in their butt, twin. And potentially it makes sense, but I don't even think it makes sense then. I just wanted to see if potentially maybe you're up to date with the latest slang, Donno, but I'm glad I've been able to bring you up to date.
It for your next podcast.
I'm going to write all these down.
Don't worry.
We did.
Hey,
I'll send you my notes.
Yeah, she took notes. We were playing a game. She's taking notes.
Well, Donald, I appreciate you joining us.
You know what you got to do, Jennifer? You got to give us, say it in Cuban.
Ooh, like
not Spanish.
That's dangerous.
Cuban. No, it's different. It's a different kind of Spanish.
Spanish.
Well, thank you, Donno. I appreciate you joining us. When we come back, we will tell you who or what is dead to us. Donno, have a great weekend, buddy.
Thank you so much for having me. See y'all later.
Take care. More Tobin and Leroy when we come back. I still don't know what song this is. What song is this?
I'm not even gonna lie to you. I have no idea.
Hey, you know what? Welcome back to the Tobin and Leroy Show. Final segment here. We're going to give you a rapid fire dead to me. I want to thank you guys for joining us because I know I'm going to have to rush my exit. It has been a Frog Boy Friday. Don't worry, Show Pony will be returning next week to give you all things Dolphins, Heat, and much, much more. And so will we, because it will be Heat Media Day on Monday. So I'm going to start with my dead to me, and that is none other than Sunday. Sunday is dead to me because the past two Sundays have not had Miami Dolphins football games. And
that's your day off.
A Sunday that I have to watch other people play football and I don't get to watch my team is always like the worst kind of Sundays. So because of that, because they want to play Thursday night and Monday night back to back and rob me of my Sundays, football, you're dead to me. Leroy, who is dead to you?
I'm gonna stay along that same path and say double headers on Monday night.
Double head. Hey, that's a good.
Don't
call.
Don't start no damn football game at 7:00.
Hey, that's a good.
Ain't nobody ready for football. Ain't nobody ready to receive Monday night football at 7:00. And then tell me there's another game that starts at 10.
Crazy.
Get out of here with that.
It's a good call there. It's a good call.
Double headers on Monday night.
That's a good one.
That's a good one
Very
for
good
sure.
one.
Figgy, who is dead to you?
Several things have been brought to my attention this week, and you know what? I've had enough of it. We spoke today about speaking without knowing the entire backstory, and I'm going to go ahead and quickly say people who make fun of my newsletter are dead.
What? That's a what?
See?
If you...
Look,
Scooby's mad.
Get your facts.
Get your facts before you go ahead and talk garbage about my newsletter. May through August was the entirety of the newsletter, not just May.
Hey, you need me to get somebody?
You're dead.
Knuckle sandwiches.
Just give me
I'm gonna tell them to SYBAU.
Yeah.
SYBAU, okay?
She's a good student. She's a good
great student. I
already
learned
applying
quickly.
it.
Hey, there we go. Look.
Don't come after my work. I've had enough.
Brittney, who or what is dead to you?
Honestly, college football, because I'm so mad that the Canes aren't playing this weekend.
Right? It's like football
I
this
just know it makes me
weekend.
upset. I don't like early bye weeks. I do think it's exciting that obviously we have a bye week before FSU, but I'm upset because I can't watch my Canes on Saturday.
Look, that is
I go to
a
the game
fair.
on Saturday.
Right?
Exactly.
That is a
I love
fair
to spend my
assessment there.
Saturdays.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you again for joining us on the world famous Tobin and Leroy Show. Make sure you catch us Monday for Heat Media Day, and that is right. Show Pony will be back in action. We'll be back at full strength. Leroy, Brittney, Figgy, thank you for helping your boy out today.
Maybe.
Bam. We'll see. We'll see. Tyler won't be there. Probably recovering somewhere. But anyway, tune in on Monday as the team is back at full strength. In the meantime, have a wonderful, wonderful weekend.
Shut up, Marcos.
But they called it 25. Oh, gross.
Start digging in your butt, twin.
I'll see y'all when I see y'all.